Level Phase 2. Operation Doomsday.
By the way, I re-up on bad dreams, back up screams in 50s, be-up on mad schemes that heat shop like Jiffy. Pop, pop, in an instant, get smoked like Winston cigarettes. Hoes get ripped off like Nicorette. In real life, the real tripe scene might snatch your life like assault machine. Rifle, dead up, set up like bullfight. Be blooded how we like, couldn't white or in full flight. The unemotional, call me antisocial. On the run off the gun, Death Tally commercial. Death Valley is like rehearsal to the streets, to my peeps. GM, MF on the beat, rhymes. It's chosen like the weapons of war. So keep from stepping on my floor or delivery front door. I bring it to y'all motherfuckers, master yours. My disaster cause hell in gas drawers. The super villain cooler than a million. I'll be chillin', still quick to slice squares like Sicilians. Don't make me have to hurt the feelings. I'll ruin you in the dirt that I be doing in my dealings. Sending spirits through the ceiling, chrome peeling, dome blown. Within the comforts of your own home. Grown, big, wheeling and high rolling. I hold it lie, keep the style on my eyes swollen. Holding and folding a pal, known as massive versatile. I like to big them up, monster owl. Sub rockin' black Jew, I crack brew for 2 more free men, 2 up. I hit the brew up like nobody knows how. Extra unseen feels when giving crews a brush with death like between meals. 2 times a day with brothers as tight like a noose. With more rhymes than use than Dr. Seuss, a motherfucking mother goose. Extra suspicious flirter, whoever hook or herder. Next to malicious murder, track type vicious. Fulfilling the pipe wishes, the missus may be legal. Minus the baby eagle, any given summer's eve, don't breathe. 16 shots, I do believe, and 1 up the sleeve. Master of the O, who predict your last pause. I told y'all, hell and gas drawers breaking glass and plastic jaw like federal drastic law. Fed up for fight, secret war with them fantastic four. Versus doom with the metal face before it go to state. The whole better settle case. The flow is at pedal pace, steady like tricycles. Beware all suckers, froze like icicles. Bag 'em up and bagging bitches like nickels, cause I lick them where they tickle. Before I hit the clip though, I'ma spit till I pronounce more hits than an ounce, no doubt. About to bounce, extra unannounced, I'm out. And I like to give a shout out to the brother Jet Jaguar, Megalon, and King Ghidra. I call this joint right here gas drawers. And hell with yours.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. A little bit of an impromptu stream tonight that I just wanted to go over because the patch notes for the next version of Remix got kind of shadow dropped. They're not completely done. It's more so because Miriam likes doing this, just showing off different parts of the development process. So let me switch over to the patch notes screen. Here we go. I unfortunately don't have too nice of a way to look at this other than just I have Notepad pulled up.
And
Um,
well, we'll read it, I guess.
yeah, we'll read through all of it. I think Callie will be here in like 10 minutes, but we're not even. All this stuff up here is just like bug fixes. Uh, the
Yeah.
the
Are there
actual
more somewhat detailed patch notes or?
yeah, the actual patch notes start like down here
All right. Well,
ish.
that's fine. We'll look into like what the intent is and everything.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to because even if you don't know every character, I could also pull up Remix and explain kind of what that character used to do and how it might affect them in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Because there's definitely some characters here that our local has not like looked into.
right, right,
Mostly because of disinterest or we were just looking at the characters we were already playing.
right. That makes sense. So that's totally fine. A lot of these characters don't see.
We don't see him too much because I'm looking at Guy and I'm like, who the fuck is playing Guy?
Yeah, like Guy has a lot of changes here that are expected in the future. Because like that was the thing with this list is like it's semi-definitive patch notes, but also just general stuff like notes that are going to
Yeah,
be changed in the future. Um,
yeah,
which is why like there's no like quote unquote patch notes for Hawk, but there are still like there's still
we know what should was probably going to be changed
we know what the problem is. Yeah, that's half the battle. Um, the top here is just infinites that we've known about for a while. All of these
that
are
are just going to be fixed eventually.
yeah, all of these are pretty common. I didn't know that Blanca still had one, but I also don't play that character, so I think that's fair. Um, Poison losing hers makes sense. Fei Long, I mean, I think Miriam still wants to make a game with no infinites, but that's kind of hard to do. So I understand.
Yeah,
It's hard to patch out every single infinite. But these aren't too important, so I'm just kind of gonna generally skip over them and go down here.
yeah.
Etc. notes. DJ Air 214K not active the entire way down. Air 214K is he works like Omega DJ, so 214K
Oh,
is the overhead kick.
oh yeah. This same one from like Street Fighter 6, right?
I think so. I don't remember.
It's like a bit of an overhead kick that kind of just is a bit floaty.
Yeah, can he do it in the air in that game?
You can't do it in the air.
Okay, yeah, that's the difference. The Air 214K is like an axe kick. I think it's an overhead. The other big issue with it is that it was free for a little while. For some reason, it costs 0 bar to do. But that's obviously just a bug that's going to be fixed. Not active
Yeah,
the entire way down is interesting, so I get because it has no height limits, so he might have instant overhead shenanigans now. Um,
yeah.
which would be cool. He's never been a character with like unfair mix. He's just
Yeah.
he's doing the DJ thing just with
DJ Air 2 on 4K not active the entire way down. Um, that probably because he doesn't have like a height limit, as you mentioned. So that's gonna be like a bit of an interesting change because that means like doing it from higher above is probably less effective um, as a result of it not being active the entire way. Unless the changes we're gonna make it active
I
the
I
entire way down.
I think that's what it. I don't know. Like I can pull up remix right now to check if it is, um, but I don't I wouldn't imagine it's active the entire way down. I assume this
If
change
it's
is
if it is, it's an interesting change.
to give
Because
him.
DJ was probably a fair bit stronger than uh, maybe had something that was underutilized. Maybe.
I believe normal versions of let me see if this messes with the stream. No, okay, it doesn't. Um, Normal versions of Air 214K don't give you a combo, and I think the EX version ground bounces.
Most of these don't really make sense unless you're me. I just left it in. It's just stuff I've noticed during matches or through testing. Okay.
Okay. It's nice to have Miriam in the chat as well.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling up training mode right now. I'll switch over to.
Again, it's fucked up mix-up wise, but it's okay. I mean,
I mean,
that's fine.
let me check this with DJ very quickly, and then because like Gen is messy, but I think he's kind of in an okay spot, at least for the mix-ups.
I think Gen is always just gonna be a bit of a weird character because like dino damage, pretty good mix-ups, but in the grand scheme of things, he's not amazing, isn't he? It's like, all right.
He's quite good, not like Claw or Yun or anything.
Yeah, like we're not talking like super high tier.
So I checked
Just
I checked the DJ thing. His Air 214K is not active until landing. Like if I switch over to the game recording.
Okay, so so that note is just like maybe making it active the entire way. Okay, that would be an interesting change. But,
Yeah, that is interesting.
These like etc. notes, according to Miriam, doesn't necessarily mean that these will happen. So
right, okay.
These are the maybe notes.
And that's fair. I appreciate the reach out anyway. Can you capture window, please? So don't live there. I hate streaming. Anyway, Air 214K is not active until it lands, but it doesn't have a height limit, so you can still TK overhead anyway. It's a hard knockdown unless you do the EX version, which is a ground bounce.
Okay.
Moving back to the etc. list. Bunch of guy changes in a row. 214 MP should probably combo from heavies. That's medium shoulder. 214 PP is EX shoulder. I assume
probably be allowed to combo. 214P needs to get buffed. I mean, I don't know too much about Guy in this game. Callie probably knows.
214 3 punches is he has like a deadly rave super where he does like a little shoulder tackle and then you can press different normals to get different stuff.
Okay.
It's not too strong because the optimal damage you get from it is like 200 because the super still scales like how Street Fighter 4 does its scaling. So you know how
so it
every unique input kills the scaling by 10%.
So doing that like super should probably like either the hits during that deadly rave should do a lot more damage.
Right.
Or I feel like messing with the scaling as a whole is going to be too hard as a result of how SF4 is SF4. So,
right. Because I don't think we can do anything about the way moves are scaled. Like in the code. I don't think we can do anything about that.
Yeah, so I guess make the damage of hits during the Deli Rave do more damage. Like, just a lot more damage. And
yeah. That might
be
work.
a band-aid.
It would still give you the creative vision of the super, which is letting you press different buttons during it to get different outcomes, while still like making it youthful. Because his character really only spends 2 of his 3 supers. Well, really more like 1, because command grab super is ridiculous.
how's what is a command grab super?
Command Grab Super is his Ultra 2
Yeah.
from Ultra. It is the difference between that and Ultra is that it does much less damage, but you get a full unscaled combo when it hits, and it's frame 0. It's a frame 0 command grab on a half circle.
Where have I seen that one before?
where have I seen that one before?
Where have I seen that one before?
I think this sounds familiar.
Yeah, this one seems a bit familiar.
Now, guys, combo damage isn't like insane. So, like at the end of the day, the most damage you get from this is like 500, but that's still, 2 bars for a reversal command grab. That you could do into a reset, which will give you another 400 damage. Like it's still very strong.
It's fucked in the grand scheme of things, but it's like sort of like Hawk, really.
Right.
Where Hawk's EXSVD gives him like 500, 600.
Yeah, and it's cheaper, and usually gives you a better knockdown scenario.
Yeah, I mean, if Hawk's getting his EXSVD nerfed, then Guy's Super Throw. I mean, I don't know. Guy's Super Throw probably doesn't need to be that good. Is like, I don't know, because the way you've described it so far, it's like if Hawk has to have the same thing for 1 bar, I don't think Guy having a 2 bar version of what is, because it's not jumpable, right? Like, it doesn't catch pre-jump like EXSBD does.
Okay, I'm back. I don't remember. I don't think it catches pre-jump. Like, no, because it's a super, so when the screen freezes, if you weren't holding up, I think you just lose.
Yeah, but that's normal.
It's not like Hawk where if you were holding up before the freeze, you get grabbed anyway. No, I think
Yeah, because but with EXSVD, the thing about the EXSVD is not that like, because regular SVD doesn't work like that.
Right.
Because regular SVD doesn't catch pre-jump.
Yeah, it's just
It's the EXSVD that catches pre-jump.
It's just a weird property on EXSPD.
Yeah, it's yeah. So like, Gaia Super Throw being that good doesn't sound like, I don't know. I think it could be kept as is.
I think the reason why Hawk EXSPD works like that is because it's counted as an unblockable in the code and not a throw.
Yeah, there's like 2 types of unblockables, but it like catches pre-jump inherently, so it's weird move.
Yeah, it's a weird move, and it, as the next note here, important.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair because that move EXSVD
is actually like
incredibly good. It is the reason. That's the reason I think that character is top 1.
I think like, without it, he's a strong high tier.
I think without it, like, it depends on what they nerf, like, or sorry, what gets nerfed, I should say, right?
Right.
Because like Miriam, like she could because she could do a lot with EXSVD, right? Like, I think the route I would take is like EXSVD as is fine until you get to the part where it catches pre-jump.
Right. I think if you take away the pre-jump, if you just make it a throw. I'm not saying it's fine.
Make it an invuln grab. Make it an invuln grab.
I think it's fine to keep the invuln on it.
Yeah, keep it as an invuln 0 frame grab. Just don't make it catch pre-jump.
It still costs 1. It still costs 1 bar. It's just
1 bar. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to.
That also still like. I think the other secondary problem with like EXSVD is that to me it makes his DP kind of useless almost. Like once you get like the tech with like you do the CC, the charge, you buffer an EXSPD through charge, and the charge animation will lower you to the ground. So jump ins whiff on you.
I don't think
But
that should be removed.
I think that should be okay, but it's like that takes some level of execution that I think like doing a DP is easier than doing a DP is easier than doing charge EXSPD. It's also a very situational like anti-air. You're not going to catch jump backs with this,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, but also the option of just walking at them, charging and doing an EXSPD is also a really good option.
I
So
don't.
it like
I kind of like the fact that Hawk's charge animation lets him like low profiles and shit. Like
and mix that with the EXSPD being
it's
invuln, you got a legitimate anti-air to stop people jumping at you.
it's not even like I like it because it's good. I just like it because I think it's unique. It's like a thing that he has that is uniquely him.
Yeah, with EX, and you know what? It's like a happy accident because that legitimately works. Like to charge to low profile and then to EXSPD to blow through the jump in anyways. That legitimately just works.
It's really nice. Yeah. I'm not saying.
Really nice.
I'm not saying if you remove the pre-jump frame catching, if you make it a throw and not an unblockable, that the character is fixed. You don't need to change anything else. But I think that's a really good start. I think
yeah, he's still solidly like one of the best characters in the game without it.
Because Hawk will still have like what is effectively one knockdown into guess for game. That's gonna be his thing.
Yeah, it'll be
on top of like some of the like extremely good normals, all of which deal chip.
Yeah.
And some very stupid mobility tools.
Also leading into 600 damage
off like a half screen poke.
I think I just think
that's easy to confirm too.
Really. Easy to confirm.
I just think making the character go from like making him guess for game instead of knockdown, oh you lost, will do a lot to make him more bearable to play against.
Yeah, because locally over here, like in our local scene, like there's been a lot of instances where I have won off of a round start stand heavy kick.
Yeah.
Because I timed that Oki scenario perfectly.
Round 1 or round 2?
Round 1. Because you build the meter for EXS
in the combo.
Off of a straight. Yeah.
Like right in the combo, and then you just
legit you could end an entire 2-round game in 4 touches as Hawk.
Yeah, he's just better at that than any other character right now.
Yeah.
And like Remix can be 2-touch, don't get me wrong, but often that second touch is still a guess. And if you guess wrong, you die. Hawk, you don't even really got to guess wrong.
Like what he does covers like not every single option.
If he gets you to the corner, it's almost every single option.
Yeah, it's if you get to the corner, it's almost every single option. The problem is that his ability to layer every single like option he has, he's already a fantastic mix-up character. Remember, he has like the stuff to deal with Vega Warp, where he does the splash and it'll save jump, right? If Vega doesn't do warp, but if he does, you can counter spire CC to be in Dictator's face, and with EXSPD, if he tries to jump back, snatched.
Right. Right, exactly.
Not anymore, at least. But
it forces like Dictator to use like a CC of his own just to like survive. So he's already good at like forcing the meter economy game. But he's not going to use CC of his own unless he wants to chase you down.
Yeah.
He has very little reason
to run away. You have to like CC yourself to get away from everything if you have the option to get away from it.
If I have an issue with Hawk's design, if anything, it's that like his metered options give him too easy of combos off of them already, so he has no real reason to use CC except for defensive and mobility purposes. Like, he doesn't use them in combos because his main combo tool gives him a combo anyway. You don't need to CC
Exactly.
it.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not saying remove the combo on EX SPD, because that could be a little lame. But I think giving him honestly, if you want to shoot a lot of...
I think if anything, just like, because EXSPD already gives him a limited juggle.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the greatest
why
launcher
not-
on his kit.
Like, the thing is
good, but it's not insane.
Like, you can go one of two routes, right? You can either, with EXSPD, like, don't kill the move, but remove that pre-jump thing, so it's a legitimate guess against T-Hawk, where he legitimately has to force strike throw. He will still have the defensive OSs with, like, delay SPD and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he can bait out reversals by delaying the SPD button. He will still have that. But he won't have something that'll legitimately win against every single wake-up option in, like, the corner. You can still jump out.
Right.
And then he has to call that out with a DP, and then that's when he starts using CC.
Yeah. I can see
Right.
that. I see where you're coming from.
Because, like, making the EXSPD, like, not catch pre-jump anymore, which is, like, the main fix here, it actually forces Hawk to start using CC more, actually. Because to catch certain options like a jump back or something, he has to, and with the air mobility of some characters in this game, their ability to run away, now he just has to start using CC. Dictator is, like, the one scenario in the game I can think of where, yeah, he has to use CC to chase you down. Other characters? No.
Well, likely other teleport characters at least.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah,
it'd be
others.
like Akuma, Dhalsim, and Seth.
Yeah, but make the idea of, like, having to catch a jump out something that the Hawk legitimately needs to react to.
Yeah,
or needs
be
to
ready
think
for.
about. Needs to think about. Like, and thinking about it like this way, right? Like, Hawk can still do, like, to chase a jump back in that hypothetical scenario where you can jump out of EXSPD. He can still probably do, like, walk forward, charge EXSPD to anti-air, or he can just DP you as a hard call-out.
Right.
Like, these options will still exist. It won't hurt him as a character to make EXSPD jumpable. What it will just do is kind of enforce the idea that he is a mix-up character, not a I will touch you once and you are dead character.
I think that would be... I think
Right.
that, for the most part, I think that would be okay. Like, I don't think Hawk is in a place where, like, he needs to be shot immediately. Like, remove all of his strong tools.
Yeah, because I think EXSPD is a good start. Otherwise, like, because the thing about, like, his juggles is they do a lot of damage, but that's just a consequence of, like,
his
like,
combos are short.
Yeah, like, the end goal here to me, right? Like, where I would want Hawk to be in a perfect world, because I'm not gonna say that I want Hawk to be that good. I love it. I'm having fun, but I don't want him to be that good. At the end of the day, I want Hawk to be a more commonly 3-touch character, and a 2-touch character when he has the resources.
I don't think I have enough, like, anger in me and, like, chronically online illness to be like, yeah, this character needs to be low tier forever. I'm not that angry. I'm not that angry about it.
No. I think like, Hawk is kind of in a really good, like, spot where really you only need to make one change to him and he suddenly becomes, like, a legitimately fun character to fight against.
Yeah,
I mean, like, the EXSPD not being jumpable, that's, like, even just that's a big deal.
I would
a big change.
If it was me personally, I would do that and lower the damage of his heavy kick by, like, 30. And I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
because then his combos do like they do more like low mid 500 instead
yeah,
of closer to
Which
600.
is still great numbers by remix
yeah,
standards. 500 is great by remix standard.
that's still amazing numbers. But like, I think generally speaking, like since we,
But then you get like a 3-touch scenario because guts exists in the game.
yeah,
That too.
like since we started playing, I think the power level of remix has gone down. Like,
Oh yeah. Like
like
I don't even realistically, if you just say beta, like, can I even argue that Claw right now could be a better character than Beta 25 Blanca?
I mean,
Right? Like,
yeah, I claw right now, no.
no. And I mean, like, even
It's
Claw compared to Claw last patch,
yeah,
I still think Claw overall got nerfed.
it's even like with like if you compare the damage from 25 to 27, Claw used to be one of the highest damage characters in the entire game, and now he's
For
just
like no reason.
for no resources, and now he's just quite good at damage, which is
Well,
which
it
is
used to be like
It's
one of
still-
his best traits.
And
Yeah.
he's still Claw at the end of the
and
day.
he's still
Yeah,
Claw.
the fact that he does above average damage and is also Claw is fucked up.
It's just he went from he went from having like literally the second best damage in the game behind Boxer to just quite good.
Yeah, Claw used to do for Heather, because Heather didn't play much Beta 26 or 25 at all.
550 meterless,
Claw used to do like Hawk damage.
Oh,
meterless,
then yeah, that's too much.
Claw
Yeah.
used to drop 600 for no resources.
and if he spent resources, it was like close to a TOD on Akuma and Seth.
Yeah, he did so much fucking damage.
Because
Yeah,
previously,
we had characters like Ferte as well back then too.
Yeah,
right?
Fuerte.
and you have to remember he used to be able to command jump cancel super, so that was also
Yeah,
another
that's
big
right.
reason.
Heather never had to deal with the fact that what's the name of that super?
Splendid
it's
Claw?
the big claw, Splendid Claw. Yeah, he used to be able to cancel that in command jump on hit or block.
Oh,
The only
So
way
it was
you could beat it,
actually unpunishable.
yeah, the only way you could beat it is make it whiff, but none of us really knew that at the time, so
the
it was
time.
kind of just unpunishable.
Well, also to be fair to us at the time, it's massive in like frame 2.
Yeah, if you do a jump
it's
in,
splendid. It's Splendid Claw. It's
Yeah.
Splendid Claw.
If
Yeah.
you
No,
if you
good
do
fucking
luck
massive.
good luck making that with.
if you
to
do a
make it
jump
with,
in,
you have to be half screen from the motherfucker on his wake up.
and then it's so obvious that he can just not do it. He
Or
can
just jump and command jump away and fly away.
How was the invuln?
A lot.
He was invuln until about halfway through the animation.
Oh my god, you would have to like hard call out with a DP that invuln then.
Yeah,
So
which
we're
only
talking,
I think
we're
only
talking
Claw has.
evil. Yeah,
Or
'cause
evil
I
The
was-
Ryu.
the only thing.
I was gonna say like evil Ryu could probably do like as a fucking sociopath's like call out, right? Crouch beam kick CC like medium DP as like a
Maybe,
Yeah,
sociopath.
to be crazy. To
maybe,
be crazy.
yeah.
Now, funny thing is, Blanca's Shout of Earth super was still more invuln. I think that happened to us in a grand finals once. I invulned through your reversal with Shout of Earth.
Yeah, and it was like a TOD. It was,
Because that shit does 600 on Claw.
it's still, no, he
That
can
super
still,
does flat 600 on Claw.
he still does like real 1,000 damage combos. They're just like really impractical, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
Blanca is still one of the highest damage characters in the game. It's
Um,
just like the big thing that killed him from being like unbeatable tier in Beta 25 was jump heavy kick nerfs and the nerf to his infinite.
Yeah, because now without that, like, he has damage, but I was going through this when Bosso was labbing the character, like, he has a lot of damage. I don't understand what this character does in neutral. That's my problem. Is like,
Buttons and double jump mind games and gimmicks.
I guess.
His main issue, in my opinion, is pressure.
I think when your character relies on gimmicks, it like kind of shows that your character has a bit of a short shelf life, really.
yeah,
Yeah, he does, and that's why I stopped playing that character after like a month of Beta 26.
and he was gimmicks, like,
Gimmicks as
objectively.
fuck.
The gimmick was you can't anti-air me with anything ever.
Yep.
Unless
And
it's
even
an
if you
armor
try,
breaker.
I just go, I go through it.
Yeah.
Wow, where have I seen this one before?
Yeah, you literally just couldn't anti-air him. And if you
Right.
like now it's still armored, but
Because at least with
it's
claw stuff, like the claw, like what is it? It's like 2 through 6 HP, cancel the jump or whatever.
Can jump, yeah, the whiff cancel.
Yeah, like the whiff cancel. Like even with that, it's like if your character was small enough or had the ability to do a DP from a crouching position, like you could disrespect that aspect of claw. Like Cammy had a Cammy from whatever distance, if she did like what is it? What's the DP called? Thrust. I'll just call it thrust kick. Thrust kick from like a crouching position when Claw was like maybe above her, like light thrust kick. She could anti or she could disrespect Claw out of doing like 2 through 6 HP stuff.
And
So it was
Yun
genuinely
can do
kind of
similar.
a risk to do it on her. Yeah, like it was genuinely kind of a risk to do it on her. But you need to be tiny. You need to be tiny.
Yeah.
And like Blanca jump heavy kick just had super armor. Just straight up had super armor, and he also has a double jump, so you quite literally could not anti-air him.
Unless you had an armor breaker.
Crackhead fucking character.
Yeah, unless you had an armor breaking anti-air, and that armor breaking anti-air also had to be good enough to anti-air Blanca jump heavy kick.
Yeah, it can't be a normal. Because that was the problem,
you're
is
not
that
gonna anti-air him with a normal.
there are armor breaking normals in Remix, but they're not the ones that you anti-air with. they're not.
It would have to be like mad spaced, right? Like let's say your heavy punches, like you do stand heavy punch. Let's say you Shoto stand heavy punch, very big straight punch. You would have to do that from like pretty damn far away.
Yeah, pretty far away, and even then he might still win. And if he ever does,
and if he won, it's over. You're dead.
Yeah,
because that character does like 1,000 clean, and in Beta 25 he did more.
Very obnoxious character.
What's next?
We can move on because we were on this.
Ibuki 2 HP special dash infinite. What is that?
I think this is just a patch. For she has a command dash, don't she?
Yeah. So her command dash, if you hold up during it, she does a little short hop. You can do her target combo out of that. So you could do short hop, normal, like jump medium kick, jump heavy punch, and then link a normal after, and then short hop, link crouching heavy punch specifically, and then do the command dash short hop and do it again.
That becomes an infinite. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
it's just an infinite. A very small.
Without it, I don't think she changes at all. She already has pretty average damage without it.
Cody Sand air hit weirdness.
I don't know too much about this one.
Sand is weird.
But Sand is just a weird move programming wise.
It does a lot of weird things.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised by this. These next two I'm gonna combine in a chunk so we can talk about both of them at the same time.
Because I have a lot to talk about these two fuckers recently in general.
Because I have opinions on this. Whoever wants to go first can.
Fuck Rolento. I have a lot of thoughts on that character because I tried him for a bit, like way back in the day when Sam was still regularly playing.
Maybe like command jump load 9s.
I think that'd be a good change.
That's fine.
I think fixing his weird projectiles would be a good change, but I also think Rolento's biggest issue right now is just like literally non-existent defense.
Everything?
Everything. Mostly everything. He has like two good aspects, and it's his pressure. He is decent at that, and actually that might be it. I overestimated myself saying too. I think it's just the one thing. But it is pretty good. I don't think that's what Rolento was designed to do, though. I think Rolento was designed to be a shitty runaway character who annoys the fuck out of you. And, like, at the moment, I think with his defense being as, like, literally not functional as it is right now,
Just
and
give him, like, a real, give him a real anti-air.
Give him a real anti-air, give him some sort of reversal that works.
Because, like,
that isn't a super.
Because not having a reversal in this game it's
death.
Rough.
It's
yeah,
death.
like my opinion on it is like I don't say this usually because like a lot of people say this about fighting games in like a superlative sense, and it's not true, and the character is just weak. It's not actually the case. I just don't think this character works. Like
I think he needs a full redesign if you want him to be like good.
in the system mechanics of the game, I just don't think he like competes at all. I don't because like I just don't think the knife stock system works. That's my opinion. Is that
Okay, so can I get a recap on like how the knife stock system?
Let's-
Can you only stock one at a time?
So
me see
basically,
if I can-
Relento has 2 command movement specials, not counting his command jump. When you do either of them, he stocks a knife. Knives make it so his Rekka is a usable move that does things, and it kind of still sucks. And they also make it so air knife toss tosses multiple knives. You only get one, and then you have to stock it again. And the shittiest part about this to me is that like knife stock is a cool idea, and I think it would be cool to build the character around it more. But right now, the character without a knife stock is terrible.
I mean,
Rekka is useless. The worst move in the game, in my opinion.
so how does Rekka work without it? It just,
He does a big spin. He only has Rekka 1. It does not knock down. It is negative on block, and it doesn't hit crouches.
I'll show you if I can get the fucking
I mean,
stream to work.
at that point, right? If you want to build that character around knife stock, if you want to build around knife stock, either you know what? Okay, one, increase knife stock count. Make it so that you can stock 3 knives at once. That way, you're not constantly running away. You're slightly running away.
I think 3
Yeah,
would
because
be
inherently
nice.
his game plan is just that.
Make Rekka 1 hit crouchers, but just make it a soft knockdown. Call it a day.
Just make it knockdown.
Make a knockdown. Like make it hit crouchers, make it knockdown. Because him not having effectively a usable special that he can go into.
It does nothing right now. It throws a knife, which is like probably the worst fireball in the game. It has a million years of recovery and startup, and does like I think 20 damage.
I just think like Relento could genuinely like work with the knife stock thing if you make the rest of him better.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing with any sort of like stock character is if like they have a thing they have to build up. If they aren't good without that thing, it's such a problem. The flip side is like then you get sometimes they're way too good even without it, and then buffing themselves with the stock makes them absurd.
I think make 3 stocks, 3 knife stocks at once, and then you need to refill.
So
Because then you're actually like you're not constantly having to fish for resources in a game where everyone has all the resources at once.
you guys can see the Street Fighter 4 stream, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
So just to
Although
go
I can't.
over,
Although the stream can't see it, but
I just switched it over on the stream. It's delayed.
okay.
So Relento's mechanics with his knives are that if you don't have knives stocked, Rekka does this.
Yeah, that's it.
You can see me doing multiple inputs. That's it.
Yeah, there's no follow-ups. It is super cancelable, but who cares?
If you have Rekka stocked, if you have knives stocked, which you can only do one, you see, I roll back again and he doesn't do anything. You get, and that does
And
combo.
it doesn't knock down anyways.
No, and it's also still unsafe on block and still whiffs on a decent amount of crouchers.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a good time. Even with knife stocked, it's not a very good move.
So
yeah, this is just a problem with the character.
my opinion on this has always been this should just be his normal Rekka. I think it should do something special like knock down if you have knife stock, but I think his stocked knives Rekka should just be his Rekka, in my opinion.
I mean, maybe. I would rather see it always knocked down, and then maybe stocked version is a combo starter, something along those lines, or juggles. But there's always like,
you know what? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad shout, right? Because here's the thing with knife stock. Make Rekka plus unblock with knife stock, right?
okay, yeah, I fuck with that.
So without stock, make it knockdown, so you can actually stock knives like safely after a Rekka. That way, you're actually rewarded for your convert. It doesn't have to be safe on block, without knife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without knife, make it unsafe. But if you confirm into it, you get a knockdown that you can stock knife with. Make 3 knife stocks. Just make 3 knife stocks, because look, when your character is fishing for more resources than the rest of the cast in a game where the cast gets the resources quite easily, that can hurt a lot.
It does too.
Also,
knife stock Rekka, make it safe on block or plus, so he has very good pressure options on the ground.
because the thing is that he actually, if you ignore the fact he does no damage, he actually has a very nice mix-up tool in Pogo. He actually has,
he has a lot of nice mix-up tools and all on, because like jump down medium punch is also really good.
You saw I was doing like an anime mix-up there where you can Pogo on one side and then cross up to the other. Like,
yeah, and you can confirm into this out of normals as well.
That's like SFR shit, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, partially. But like the thing about like it's not good design to have stocks that are unseeable by the player. Yeah, because that's another thing. That's, I guess, a problem, really. Because unless you can add that visual tell, you kind of have a situation where it's like Samsho VSB, like Mina, who, like, has the trap arrows, and she can stock 3 at a time, but when you try to stock one again, nothing happens.
I think another important thing to note is
the arrow falls down instantly, indicating that you've done it too much.
when
you can probably find a more vague visual tell, but it is a like thing to work around.
When you look past the issues with the character, like he has like a slide, all of his normals are jump cancelable. Like this character can be, I think, quite good if his damage was less situational and if he wasn't such a struggle bus in neutral. Because,
he's got chains too.
Yeah,
his normals do chain.
Like genuinely, if you don't have knives stocked, what are you doing in neutral? Like this, I guess.
And that's really just not that good in the grand scheme of things.
That's worrying. Because like, I understand the idea of like a visual tell, right? Like that'll be an issue. I think okay, because the problem with Relento at the moment, I don't even necessarily think is like how stocks is handled. Like I would want it to be 3 stocks, so you know he does real damage. If we go with the idea of EX Rekka giving you a combo starter, or not EX Rekka, but Knife Rekka giving you a combo starter.
Mm-hmm.
Because like there's a lot of stuff that Relento needs to do, and I think the first step really is making Rekka usable, and I think non-knife Rekka knocking down, so you can actually get kind of a knockdown opportunity to get a stock in, is already a good start for him, really. Because then he has a combo he can knock down into, set up stock, and that way he's not really fishing for resources. His knockdowns give him that resource. Yeah, he gives up Oki, but if you want him to play by that knife stock resource idea, then making normal Rekka knock down without like non-knife Rekka knock down is I think a good start, in my opinion. But
Yeah, you can do some really fucked up shit with that normal.
Yeah,
I
like,
think multiple. I think at the end, like, if we can get a visual cue somehow of like, other than he rolls back and he doesn't get a knife, so that way you can tell he has max stocks. That would also like, because if you make it 3 stocks, you still have that visual tell, but it's a bit more. You kind
You
of
also
have
gotta
to wait in.
you gotta keep track of how many stocks he has too.
Yeah. And also like so does he, but it's a lot easier for the Relento to do it than you are.
Yeah. This super's kind of ass. I won't lie to you. But his other super, the wire,
yeah, it's
that
extremely
one's
good.
actually quite good.
Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is a full screen low.
It's a full screen, like I believe frame 1 low. It may be a throw actually, but I think it's a low.
I believe it. I'll switch back to the.
Yeah, because we got the other low tier to talk about. And all this trash talk we've said to this character, and we still haven't gotten to the worst character in the game.
I still think Relento.
You think Rolento's worse still?
I still think Relento is worse. At least Hugo kills you.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. he doesn't
At
kill
least
you.
Hugo does damage when he.
Okay,
miraculously gets
okay.
hit.
That's
And I'll give you that at least.
that's true.
That is true.
At least he
Because-
does something.
Yeah, at least he has a game plan and like functional moves mostly.
When I say at least he kills you, it doesn't mean he always will. Hugo's ass.
No,
But
I
at
mean,
least if he touches you, he kills you. It's
True.
not gonna happen.
because like I've said this before. I think make Hugo better is a good goal, and I think the character can be made better. I don't think he's like a lost cause. I think the character.
Yeah, like we were saying, Rolento needs a new kit to really be good.
Yeah,
I don't think Hugo does.
Make his normals less awful is a very good start, because
That's
I think like historically Hugo's best aspect has been his footsies actually.
that's
Yeah,
a very
like, crouching medium
noble.
kick has always been an amazing button.
Crouching medium hunch has always been amazing too.
The thing is
Yeah.
I'm weird, so I think giving him light to medium chains wouldn't even be that big of a problem. But
No, I
I'm
think that'd be
weird.
fine.
I'm weird,
That'd be
so
That'd be fine. That'd be fine.
'Cause he can't-
He could probably chain to like crouch medium kick, get a knockdown.
Exactly.
well, no,
Well,
it's
actually,
because
his crouch medium kick launches in this game.
If I remember
Oh, it
right,
launches.
it's because he can go into a medium that goes into a clap that he can link out of. I think.
You're thinking of Koryu, where he had medium to heavy chains.
Okay, yeah. Well, you can't. Do
It wasn't
that,
light to
but-
medium, because none of his claps besides heavy linked to anything at all without counter hit. And
Which
heavy
is a-
clap only combos from stand heavy punch.
Which
nothing
is
else.
which is kind of an issue on its own, but I'm not even gonna get into that.
I mean, if anything, right? I actually, you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind that he only gets combos off of his like other claps on counter hit.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
I think that's a good thing. If anything, light to medium chains would be very, very nice for him, because at least it would make it like, oh, okay, I can do my string on block, and I can go into clap, or I can't go into clap. That way,
That's
there's more of a mix-up. That way, there's more of a mix-up, because if you're expecting like something that isn't like, if you're expecting the clap, you're trying to mash out of it, and then you get counter hit. That like, oh, I need counter hit to link off of like light or medium clap becomes a real thing, because you're forcing scenarios on Hugo. Like, you're
Right.
forcing
there's
scenarios with
reasons
Hugo.
to mash now.
Yes, but like because Hugo at the moment doesn't force a like what scenarios who gonna force? Fucking full screen running bear grab.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
Like
It's kind of not threatening.
I think Hugo is just. I think it's just his hurt box is literally so big that I don't think he can ever be like dominating, like game ruiningly good. I don't think he can ever be like top 5 because his hurt box is literally just that disgustingly awful. We can't do anything about that.
things will just work on him.
Yeah, like
And there's I can name like 3 infinites off the top of my
He
head that
will-
only exist on Hugo.
he will always have character-specific infinites. He will always have character-specific infinite block strings. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think Hugo, at this current point, needs 3 things. Better mix-ups that are not full screen running bear grab.
Mhm.
Holy shit, I need Hugos to stop doing these rancid gimmicks that
It's got infinite armor,
don't
though.
work.
It has infinite
Here's-
armor, though.
Yeah.
Like-
No, it doesn't.
Like he can be game ruining, but here's the thing.
I
Make
don't
him-
know.
Make him force scenarios. Make him to medium chain into clap. Make it so actual block strings into clap become threatening, so the counter hit aspect becomes a real thing. There's
Yeah,
a
I think the
reason-
medium chains would fix a lot of the character's issues.
yeah.
It's also
Otherwise, give him good footsies.
it's
Yeah,
also
fucking bucks.
it's also like a lot of his problems in neutral are that he has ultra buttons in remix. Like a lot of his buttons still follow the rules of Ultra Street Fighter 4, in my opinion. Like they're still obviously universally cancelable and stuff, but he doesn't have when you look at Hugo, what button comes to your mind as this is what the character presses? I'm not saying every character needs to have a this is what you do button, but
I'm thinking of Hugo in any game.
in any game compared to Remix. What is the button
Crouch
that's
medium punch or crouch medium kick.
punch. Crouch
Yeah,
medium
crouch
punch or
medium
stand
punch.
medium punch.
And I mean
Yeah, slap.
those buttons are good, but if you put those up against remix button that's crazy, like Guile forward heavy punch.
I was about to say back fist, yeah.
Yeah,
Block anything.
he literally can't do anything at all.
Claw in general.
Unless he does a preemptive button, and then you're trying to throw out a Hugo button preemptively. Good luck.
I was
That
showing
isn't
this.
jab. That isn't jab.
That isn't jab, yeah. You're trying to throw out medium punch preemptively. Good luck.
I was showing this concept to Cleo 2 days ago, where Guile Hugo is so horrible because Guile's back fist in this game is absurd. It's half screen, cancels into command normals. It's fucking massive. It's disjointed.
Very, very unrelated. Very unrelated, right? Cal,
Yeah.
you were saying I was showing this concept to Cleo. I was like, you showed me what now? Because I read my Cleo years ago.
When you show it, why you showed that to who?
You showed me what?
Hey, you don't remember? Yeah, basically Hugo has no way to reactively whiff punish backfist, and if Hugo starts preemptively trying to hit it, which he can do, backfist whiff punishes all of his normals.
Yeah. And then
Straight up beats some of them,
And this
but
isn't
crouch
even-
medium punch will beat it if
this-
it's active.
This isn't even discussing how he gets around Hurricane, which is a Mario
He
Party.
doesn't.
That's a Mario Party mini game in and of itself. It's not as bad as some people would say of you can just sit on the other side of the screen at 99 seconds and throw Hurricane and win, but it's pretty close. It's
Sonic Hurricane is such a special move.
I genuinely think Guile is not as bad as we thought he first was. Where we were theory crafting optimal Guile, where he just hard Jigglypuff camps on the other side of the screen until the timer runs out. I don't think that works on any character in the game except Hugo. I don't think-
Lento.
Yeah, those two. I don't think that strategy is realistic on anyone except those two.
And that's why Guile beats those characters 8-2. That's why those matchups are so terrible.
Of course, we're not even gonna get into Yun has real ass semi-infinite block strings on him.
Yeah, I think Yun Hugo is the actual single worst matchup in the game.
I just think light to medium chains and maybe decreasing the recovery on some of his buttons.
What makes that matchup so bad actually? Like
So
Yoon and Hugo.
it's kind of surprising,
Right.
right?
To me, the mentality of like, wait, Yoon does bad. Sorry, Yoon does that good against the grappler,
Right, because Yun usually loses to grapplers, or it's hard
or
usually.
it's even, or like not
Right. So one of the big things is immediately Hugo's buttons suck and Yun's buttons don't. It's not as big of an issue because Yun.
That's fair because like in other games, Hugo kind of outputs these Yoon.
Not in this game as much, and a lot of it as well is like Yun isn't even trying to play footsies with you most of the time. Like Hugo really doesn't have much of an answer for things like hover dash or like dive kick.
Yo, what's his anti-air?
Like raw EX backbreaker.
What's
like, okay, now you're doing raw EX backbreaker versus Yun.
Like,
cool.
That was another issue with Hugo that I had personally, is like, he doesn't have an option to thwart air approaches that isn't A, comically, hysterically an overcommitment. Like, all risk, no reward.
Or an air-to-air probably.
Yeah. And B, has no reward at all. Because backbreaker...
Because EX backbreaker is just a knockdown.
EX backbreaker, literally, you're betting the entire game on it working. Because if it doesn't work, you just lose.
Yeah, it's a free punish.
It's a free punish, and if you're in a situation, if you're in a matchup where it's so desperate that you have to preemptively do EX backbreaker, you probably die off that whiff then.
And it's worth mentioning again that Yun with resources is killing you. You die. You get Ganagened.
Into 950 damage, yeah.
You gotta mix up and you die.
Oh my god, yeah, and then there's like the forward heavy punch shit.
Yeah, or like the corner shoulder re 50-50.
Which
has to hold that.
Which is actually
he doesn't have a reversal to beat it.
Which is worse on Hugo because he's taller, so it's more ambiguous.
That too. So not only are you getting hit by a combo because you tried to anti-air me with your only anti-air option and it didn't work, you got hit with 900 damage into a knockdown that you're not guessing right on.
I kind of wish...
that's why I think that matchup is so bad.
I think
it's actually the worst matchup in the game.
I kind of wish his crouching heavy buttons were better as anti-airs, like make them a little faster. But it still wouldn't... It wouldn't solve the problem, but like it would make
backbreakers also, like just make meterless backbreakers better anti-airs.
Yeah, just give him a bigger hit. But you can make that shit like a full-on...
We'll do it like Abel's, where it's just literally a brick above his head.
Yeah, above his head and a little bit behind him.
Literally builds a roof above his head for doing 6-2-3 punch.
And a little bit behind him, and I think that would be okay.
It's great. And give it some invincibility because you literally can't anti-air some normals in this game without invincible anti-airs.
I think I'd love for him to have more. I would love for him to have his Omega DP back and a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm not even gonna. I'm going to when I offer my critique on what I think should be changed, I try to limit it to things that are like realistic.
Reasonable.
Yeah, reasonable. Yeah. And so like, I would love it if he had his Omega Mode DP back, and if he could combo into like. Fuck it, if Ultra Throw worked the way EX Ultra Throw does, but meterless, I would love it if he had all these things, but that's never going to happen. So, I'm trying
actually, giving him light to medium chains would actually make meterless Ultra Throws also better.
It would, yeah, because you actually have a fucking hit confirm into them.
You have a hit confirm into them now. Yeah, off jabs you don't.
Yeah. I think that would do a lot to help. Honestly, like light to medium chains, Rolento's back to being bottom one.
Yeah, I think then Rolento is comfortably in his own tier at the bottom. I think Hugo moves up into the glorious A- tier.
Yeah, he's up. He's with
alongside such tournament mainstays as Seth and Adon
and Sagat.
And Sagat, yeah.
Hugo number one. Hugo number one.
Bottom 2 to bottom 4.
Bottom 2 to yes, sir.
We're moving up in the world.
Finally, a ratio 1 character.
True, we had ratios like 7-3, and then it goes all the way down to 0.
That'd be funny.
Okay.
Because Heather did say that when we were doing the ratio tournament, that Rolento should literally be ratio 0. Like, he should be free.
I'm honestly, I don't think I like you said that as a joke, but I don't think that's a joke
No, I
anymore.
wasn't kidding. No, I wasn't kidding. I
She
wasn't kidding.
No.
No, I wasn't kidding. Look, if Chun,
Rolento's that bad.
If MVC2 Chun roll, like etc. can be ratio 0, I think Rolento can be ratio 0.
True. And just a quick like aside on the fucking.
I wasn't kidding, because who the fuck's gonna pick Rolento?
Even if he was free, I'm not playing Rolento.
You know, I was taught growing up that if you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. I'm gonna hold my tongue on why people would pick Rolento. I'm gonna hold my tongue.
True.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say
Actually,
anything.
we should nerf Rolento.
Maybe.
I think we should actually remove Rekka as a whole. He shouldn't have any grounded special moves.
Apparently, it used to be like it was, but it didn't shoot knives at all if you don't have a stock, which is.
Oh my god, that sounds worse.
That's like the worst special. That's in contention for like the worst special move I've ever seen. Yeah, the worst special move I've ever seen. Nothing.
Special move that when you use it, you die.
You lose the game for doing
it. You literally
yeah.
lose.
There's also some Rolento changes planned down here, but we'll go over Rufus very quickly. Less annoying follow-ups is interesting to me.
Nope. Listen, I had to play against a lot of Rufus when Palm was playing fighting games. They don't do that no more. They play Project Plus.
Which is not a fighting game.
Not a fighting game at all. But I had to play against this character a lot. What I actually think Rufus's spin follow-ups are some of the most annoying RPS to play in this game, and I fight again regularly.
Yeah, I think the character is
obnoxious.
I think the character is for nice people.
Like,
yeah, nice people. I don't know what make I don't know what make 236 TPP be something else looks like, but I trust the guidance.
That would be kind of crazy because I'd actually say that's one of his best moves right now.
Yeah, like something else.
That's Big Bang.
Yeah, that's the push him
America,
up.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. He pushes you up, and you get a full combo into 650 damage.
Yeah, it's such a good move. I actually think that if you changed that super, he would be a significantly worse character.
Miriam says, "Oh, not annoying to get hit by, annoying to input."
Oh.
Huh?
Well, you know what? I still agree with that. I still agree.
I guess. I guess. I don't know.
Doing like the big thing there is just like a lot of the follow-ups are just direction plus button. Like it's direction plus kick or direction plus punch.
I guess that can be kind of hard to remember.
You gotta memorize it, yeah. Which is like not that bad, but I get it.
Yeah. Relento, some more changes for him. We'll go over these. I don't want to talk about this character anymore. We'll go over these.
I mean, it's everything we mentioned so far.
Yeah, gives knives.
Like, I give him a real anti-air and make Stinger Jump give knives, which is.
I think that's fine.
I mean, and everything else, like we kind
of. Dragon Kick a little bit less impressive. I think that's fine.
I fully agree with the thing is right now Faye is in a really weird spot because if you remove his infinite,
which they are.
Dragon Kick is chicken.
So it's the first half of Chicken Wing where he did the up kick part.
Okay.
It's like a big full screen anti-fireball type thing. The EX version is extremely invincible. You can do the second hit of it as an axe kick in the air, like Makoto axe kick. On hit, all of them cancel into that axe kick. And EX does it on block, which just means he has a full screen invincible neutral skip into plus frames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His infinite is getting removed, so I'm curious about what he'll be doing post-patch.
I think this character will be significantly worse if these are the only two changes he gets. This would not in a bad way. I think he'd be significantly worse in a way that would also make him a more interesting character. Because right now, a lot of the character is just I'm gonna kick you until I hit you, and then
then
I
do
do my
loops.
infinite,
Yeah.
which is also involving the kick special move. My infinite is the move that I just hit you with.
And then Elena, this is just a bug fix.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened anyway. Which is fine because I think Elaine is in a great spot right now, and I probably wouldn't change her personally.
It's just that the only thing that's getting removed is this.
So what's below? This is like
This is
it's
fixed.
infinite.
This is fixed infinites. These are all ducking loops. That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine. This makes sense. This is pretty
Evil
big,
reuse.
but he still
And then-
is gonna do good damage.
Yeah, I'll still have 600, 650 damage combos with this character. Don't worry about it.
We'll see, because
Don't
of
worry
the
about it. There's
changes at
also-
the bottom. But also this
That's a
got
character killer.
removed, which is like a big
I-
deal for her. I kind of wish Fleur was here to talk about it, but
I think this is a character killer. Me and Fleur have talked a lot of Sakura before because me and Fleur talk about Remix a lot. The thing is, without this, or without because I think another thing is that she's literally going to Fleur posted it, but I think she's literally going to get the ability to air dash cancel Tatsu on hit at all removed.
yeah.
That's a character killer to me. Immediately she's going from one of the highest damage characters to one of the lowest right off of that, which is not
Okay.
necessarily a bad thing, but I think the character's biggest strength right now is her damage.
I'll hold my tongue.
Into her mix-ups too. So she's a bit.
And she's a very good character, and this makes her. This is the thing that you would nerf if you wanted the character to be worse.
Yeah.
It's just it also makes her less interesting. I think it just makes her less cool. That's me.
The finished, etc. Before we go down to the actual patch note, that real patch notes start here because these are just bug fixes. So the real patch notes start with Rolento, but Makoto recovery on Seichusen Godansky, that's fine. It just means that she has no good reversal that isn't super committal at all. She doesn't have one.
If you block her reversal, she gets punished.
If you knock her down, you get to mix her up. It's just the way it is. You don't have to worry about which
I think is fine. That's not character killing at all. She's fine.
Makoto do something about her 9 HP juggles, I guess.
Yeah, that's her re-jump juggles. She got other stuff for this. I think it just
Also, Miriam says if you look further down, I didn't remove it, but I did move it to EX. So
it's EX only.
Sakura, it's EX Tatsu only. Which I mean, okay.
it's a thing where the character becomes like Makoto, where she's just mid tier until you get a bar, which is fine.
Yeah. Makoto was top 10 with that anyway. So
yeah, I don't. She has more changes down here, and I have opinions. These are all bug fixes. Had issues with the revenge meter build system just because it's new. Literally, this patch introduced
there were a couple
it.
supers that built you a full bar of CC that definitely shouldn't have.
Yeah. So Ryu will slide down a little on the tier list, but he's still strong.
It might be enough to drop him out of the top 10, but he's still solid.
He's
He's still very good.
Still strong. Still maybe the best Shoto.
Besides Evil Ryu, but I mean, now that Evil Ryu's getting nerfed, we shall see.
Sweep knocks down. This is just nice quality of life stuff. It's a good start. I know more is coming for him. These aren't these notes aren't final. This is just
They're
what
not
we
complete. Yeah, this is just what's currently there.
what we know is happening.
It's a little teaser.
Jury 6 heavy punch. That's her. I think that's the launcher.
That's the big kick.
The big
It's
kick.
her fuha in other games.
Yeah. Juggles lower when out of juggle points.
This is just the same thing that Yun's up kicks do, where after you hit a certain amount of juggle, it just stops juggling. It doesn't stop working in combos. It just doesn't launch.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
236 LK. This is just a bug fix.
I mean, she'll still she'll still have like the really crazy mix-ups off of Feng Shui Engine and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And she'll still
this
be a
is
very good character.
this is not a
is-
feng shui change. This is fine. I think
This is all just to remove her infinites mostly.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
fine. And I think it also this is not included here, but the bug fix soft lock that makes her float in the air is fixed too.
Yeah.
So I think she's just getting bug fixes. Makoto has a lot.
Yeah, we got a big change list
So
for Makoto.
we got a lot to go
Holy
over
shit.
here. She's maybe one of the most changed characters next to Ken and Evil Ryu.
I'm excited for the Evil Ryu ones because I've been thinking about playing the character more, and depending on how the changes go, I may.
I'm not gonna say anything about that.
We'll figure it out.
Jump cancel, slightly lower jump height with more startup. This seems fine as long
That's
as
pretty much a rework.
it's a rework. I don't know what slightly lower looks like, and I don't know what more startup looks like yet. So
Yeah, if we're talking like 10 frame startup here, it'll be rough.
it'll be rough. She won't get to run the really obnoxious looking like infinite cross up glitch working 2024 anymore. Where you literally couldn't anti-air her because she was so close to you that everything would just whiff.
Yeah, you had to cross-cut DP if you had a DP character, and if you didn't have a DP character, get fucked.
And I think that was corny anyway. That's not why I found the character fun. So if that's removed, that's okay.
Yeah.
It might be a thing where she can't cross up out of the jump cancel anymore, and I think that's fine. Heavy Punch does more damage, now has close far versions. I imagine the far version is what her forward Heavy Punch target combo.
Actually, I don't think it'll have, because the way it's listed there, it may just literally have the same animation. Because Guile has a couple normals like that, where the far version and close version are the same normal.
It's just literally one of them is slower than the other.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's just going to be the chop.
That would be
HK
cool.
has the same thing basically.
Heavy Kick has the same thing. You didn't use that normal too much, but since it does 90 damage, that's worth
Maybe it does now,
considering.
maybe it's worth it.
That's worth considering. 8 Heavy Punch, neutral Heavy Punch, that's the one that vacuums in. Now it's J2 Heavy Punch, so you can always get the vacuum in. You don't have to.
That's
neutral
actually
jump.
kind of interesting. She may be able to do some really fucking weird shit with that.
That's kind of nice. I like that. The big change for her this patch.
It's the same animation, by the way, for far and heavy. Sorry,
Okay,
for, the two above. Same animation.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
That's what I figured.
The big change for her, which we already saw, I had the clip pulled up, but the clip's a little outdated now because her crouching heavy punch got reworked.
Unchanged.
Yeah, back to the way it was. But foot dive is the jumping medium kick animation, I think. And it works like
She'll only
Doom's.
be done when pissed.
Yeah, only done in install. Which my opinion on it is that this doesn't matter too much just because it's an install.
Yeah, that immediately makes this, like, despite literally being a new move, this might be her least impactful change so far.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it does so it's so much like new. It's literally a new command normal that extends her combos. But just because it's install only and you still don't have, unless there's a crazy change in here that I'm missing, you still don't have a meterless launcher and install. I don't think this matters.
Yeah, like, if she had a meterless install, or a meterless launcher in install, it would be a lot bigger because she would actually have install as, like, a win condition.
She would get like real 800 damage combos off of install, which I mean, it's
I
still
wouldn't be against because Ganagin exists in
yeah,
this game.
probably, and Ganagin is going unchanged, so it probably would still not be that bad. But I understand that that's crazy, so like I'm not gonna ask for that.
And also, like, you risk an evil Ryu thing where, like, right now the only thing stopping Ganagin from being the entire win condition with Yun is the fact that his EX moves and supers are still that good.
It's not that the character is starved for meter, it's that he literally has so many good things to spend meter on that you're spoiled for choice.
Yeah, and he builds
Yeah,
so
no.
much. Like, his main
That character-
combo ender being 3 light specials back to back to back builds him such
That
It's so
character,
much.
that character is not starved for meter by any means.
Not
He
even
just,
really. He's the opposite. Makoto, in comparison, right now needs a bar. Like she actually doesn't get a game plan going until she gets a bar.
because otherwise you're just playing a rushdown character that does 150 less damage than every other character in the game.
And that sucks. So, like, the thing is, if you make it so that, like, the risk there being if install does that much damage that it's not even worth spending on the EX Fukiyage, then you have a problem.
Then
But
the character's real, like, because then it's, oh, the character is really boring in round 1 and then becomes the best character in the game for round 2.
the other issue is if you give her a meterless way to juggle. Like, that's why we were all, like, me and Cleo saw the fucking crouching heavy punch launcher thing, and, like, that would make her top 3 immediately.
Yeah, like,
she had that. She would be one of the best characters, because now she can save all that meter for install.
it doesn't matter anymore.
And
yeah.
when she's in install, she now has a meterless launcher. And that character does 900 damage.
Yeah,
just for
that-
that.
and good luck playing against her in like round 2, round 3.
Yeah,
Exactly, because
now-
any hit will lead into it.
Now
Any hit.
now instead of install being you can't jump ever, install is you can't interact with her ever because
It would be like Evil Ryu. Like, it'd be absurd.
Yeah.
That's how good that move would be.
So thankfully that's being removed. The crouching normal changes are just so that they can be followed up with forward heavy kick. I didn't know that this wasn't a thing you could do before because you don't use crouching heavy kick.
Not that much, no.
But this is cool. Axe kicks now hard knockdown and reliably hit in air combos, which is important because of this. All versions of Fukiyage now have reduced juggle points or increased JP, and the juggle height decreases after JP is used up. You get the old versions of the move with increased juggle points if you're in install. So again, another thing to make install combo stronger, but she has no realistic way to hit it unless you do a really bad jump. So I imagine now you don't get the re-jump, you just do one of these. And
Yeah, and then axe kick.
and then axe kick, and you get a hard knockdown, which is that's nice. I mean, this character, it's not that she didn't have hard knockdowns, it's just you had to spend for them.
Well, you could do forward medium punch into overhead, but that was like
Forward medium
hard.
punch?
Yeah, well, forward medium punch launches higher and juggles. This is shit I labbed out like last year when I was messing with Makoto.
She has?
I showed you.
Oh yeah,
Like,
medium
I also
punch.
think it's literally
I thought you
yeah,
were
forward
saying.
medium punch.
I thought you were saying forward heavy punch. And I was like, she doesn't have that anymore.
No, forward medium punch, the gut punch.
Yeah.
It launches them really high and keeps you kind of close, so you can cancel into overhead, and it causes a hard knockdown.
That's nice. Yeah. I
But
mean,
now she has a real hard knockdown route that you want to go for and reason to go for it.
yeah, because now it makes her mix up nicer. Because now she has realistic ways to go into a reset mix up, a soft knockdown mix up, or a hard knockdown mix up. That's really nice.
Yeah.
She could pick it. She could pick any of them. The install versions of Hayate come out faster, travel farther. Heavy punch version goes full screen. This is nice, but I don't know. It's like, again, it's just install. Like the install buffs are good, but she still needs a bar to do any meaningful damage. So
And she can't spend that bar and install.
yeah, she can't spend that bar in install. So I'm not saying let her do EX moves in install because I think that also is a game ruiner. But it's very weird. You have to be very
Well,
picky.
I don't know, actually. I feel like doing EX moves and install, that may be fine.
Genagin.
That may be... Yeah, because Genagin gets to do that.
Yeah, do you want Genagin? Do you want Welcome Back Genagin? And it
I don't
wasn't.
even need to welcome back Genagin. It's still here.
Yeah,
Leave it
welcome back Genagin. It's not even gone yet.
It's not even gone yet. We can have 2 Genagins. Fuck it. Why not?
Maybe.
Well, that's more what I mean is, like, if Miriam wants Makoto to be, like, the angry install is a big deal for her, it's got to be a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know if it can just be really good damage, but no realistic way. Because, like, she has she has okay grounded damage. Her damage is in juggles that she can't get. So if I'm installed and I run up on you, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to get DP'd. They're just going to DP me, and because Yun DP'd me, that was safe on block. So it was plus on block, and now my install timer is running down because I'm in a block string. So it's
that's what I mean is like more or less what I'm just gonna be outright about it. I'm just gonna be honest. This is Yun top 1.
yeah, because Yun's unchanged. This is like
If Yun
undisputed,
unchanged means that character is in a tier of his own above everyone
like
else right now.
like undisputed, no fun allowed.
Yeah, actual shut down the game character now.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Which is unfortunate.
Say choosing Gdansky, you can no longer dash cancel on block, but you can CC it. So if you have 2 bars and 1 CC, she does have safe on block and with reversal. That is nice. It's expensive, but it's expensive, but you'd still rather have it than not, you know?
I mean, Poison had that, and she was fucked up with it. And that was her only real reversal option, too.
And then you can also CC after the last hit, so I guess you can combo after, because it resets your juggle potential. That's cool. She has super combos now,
I fuck
but
with that.
again...
You can do like Honda stuff, where like you do your full combo, and then end in super, and then CC the super.
But again... Guess how much meter super costs? 2 bars.
2 bars.
You
That's
know-
down to EX Fukiages.
Do you know how much meter install costs?
That too, yeah.
4 bars. So it's like you either get... Unless, I mean... Now, here's the thing. You've seen, if you combo into super early, that shit hurts. And now
Yeah,
you get
this could be a big deal for her.
And now you get a CC follow-up after. This could be her new meter dump, which I like.
I think so.
I like that. You would, because now you get like very 3S combos where you might do command grab straight into the unscaled super and then follow up after it. You get like really weird looking combos. It's not third strike. The one where she can combo after is Abare Tozanami, but that super is never gonna be good. That's not happening. That's not happening.
That super sucks.
Yeah. But overall, as the Makoto player, I don't feel comfortable yet saying if she's better or worse off of these changes. I think she's different, and I think she's cooler. I'll say that much. I think this is good, you know? Like better or worse, I think this is good. This is a good set of changes.
As the Makoto sufferer, I do feel like this is like top 7 to top 6, baby. Let's go.
I
do
think
feel
so.
like this is very lightly buffed.
I think it depends on how shot the Fukiyage juggles are. If it's like you can't get Fukiyage at all, then like okay. But
Yeah, there's no rejump at all.
if there's no rejump at all, I assumed this was just to this kills the dumb combo that Yellow found where you do 4 Fukiyages in a row and it's not even optimal. I figured this does away with that. But if she can't rejump at all, then like that's unfortunate. She still has super meter dumps though, so
Well, it'll figure itself out.
you take and leave a little bit. I think she's still high tier. I'll say that much.
Comfortably.
Comfortably. This is DJ is just bug fixes because this 214KK used to be free, which was a problem, but it's okay. This no longer gets forced forward, I guess, and because of also this change, it's going to be active the entire way down. He just has real ass instant overheads, which I don't hate. I don't hate that.
They needed some sort of mix-up option.
Okay. I think this.
Oh, I saw the first one.
I'm gonna be real with you. You
Yeah.
said Sakura changes are a character killer. I think this is a character killer.
Yeah, I saw that, and
Removed all charge. So charge normals were already kind of a gimmick, but
kind of, sorta.
it was
Kinda,
still.
sorta.
I mean, you'd still rather have like Heather. Would you rather have like a 26 frame unblockable or not? Like, I mean, you'd still rather have it if it's a thing in your toolkit.
Yeah, you'd rather just have it because it's not like you had any downside from not having it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still unfortunate, but I know that Miriam has said that the charge normals are a holdover from an earlier design for the character, so I understand why they're gone.
Making the character more consistent with his newer design.
This one.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's
si-
pretty rough.
6 heavy punch, only wall bounces once. Now this was done to stop the corny looking combos with the triple wall bounce, which I thought were cool.
Yeah, the triple forward heavy punch.
I thought they were cool and not corny.
The character's dead?
Yeah, it might be.
Well,
That's
no,
rough.
this is bad, but look at the last change. You can no longer cancel into air dash on regular versions of DP. But they're true reversals.
Okay, I do fuck with them being true reversals. I might have to try and mess with this character after patch now that that's a thing. But that is...
I think because now this character does what? You do magic series into 6 heavy punch light Tatsu, 1 forward heavy punch, and then knockdown. Like,
yeah, it's pretty basic stuff now.
That's a cut of like 120, 30 damage.
Yeah, he used to be like one of the easiest damage characters. I think now you're gonna have to work for it, which is like fine. I fuck with it.
Which is
this
fine.
feels like he's trying. Like this feels like he's trying to be a lot more Shoto-y. Because like Oni pre-patch, patch ain't even out yet.
Fucking anime character.
Actual anime character right now. Like if you booted up Oni right now, he's not a Shoto. Despite being a Shoto, he's not a Shoto.
Because he has
This
an air
feels like
dash
a lot
and
more
fast
to
fall.
make him like a normal fucking Ryu fireball throw guy.
Oh, which is fine. I also understand that probably wants you to do super more often and use CC more, which is, I mean, it's not the character didn't use CC. He wasn't
No,
like.
he didn't use CC.
Yeah, it's just
There's no reason. Why would you use CC? Your EXDP is already safe on block.
Exactly, yeah. I think this is like rough. I think this makes him go from. I had him around bottom of S. I think he's confidently an A tier character with this.
Yeah, probably like middle A tier, maybe lower. Like this is, I mean, we're dooming. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
at the moment, let me put it this way, right? I've tried to lab with this character without doing the forward heavy punch stuff. He doesn't have damage, even with that. And then not only is that getting removed, but also the uppercut air dash. Like, this reminds me of Poison's nerfs. Like, Beta 26 Poison was like comfortably top tier.
Like
right?
Beta,
It
like,
was like 6th or 5th.
and the patch notes for her just legitimately with like one quality of life change aside were just straight across the board nerfs.
Hard nerfs.
Just
Like,
nerfs.
one of the biggest ones was that her rejumps got removed, which is also happening to Makoto, and is now Oni's loops are also getting removed. And I fuck with non-looping combos.
Yeah, I think it makes for more interesting for spectators because
It does.
you're not going. It's like the Doctor Doom problem, where like a lot of mid-level plays, Doctor Doom gets a hit and does that combo, and it's like okay. And the same thing with Oni is like he gets the hit and he does that combo.
Forward heavy punch. And it does so much damage.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with that. But I think in doing that, a lot of characters are doing a lot less damage.
Yeah, and I think it's just a thing of you might have to go back and give them next patch a couple nice quality of life things just to make them a little more normalized. Because I don't know what the balance philosophy I don't know the exact balance philosophy of Remix, but I don't think the balance philosophy is make Yun SS Meta Knight tier above the rest of the cast. I don't think
Actual like god tier character right now.
I don't think that's the plan. Balrog, I
Like,
don't
with
know.
the evil Ryu nerfs on top of it, I think this game is Ewan top tier comfortably.
Balrog, I don't know what this means. I think this is like a Ono thing.
Yeah, this is some random stuff. I'm surprised the crouching heavy punch, quarter circle back punch stuff is staying, but I fuck with it because that's fun to me.
And again, I mean, it could change. We don't know, but I don't imagine Boxer's getting like. I think Boxer is like where he's gonna be.
Yeah, I think Boxer's fine right now. Which is funny because that was the character we were all dooming about for the first like 3 months.
A character killer. I don't think this is a character killer, but like you have to play him in a different way. These
Yeah,
are a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff.
So his far, I'm confused about these. So far medium punch got. Did far medium kick or far medium punch get removed? I'm confused.
Both.
Oh, both. Okay. Well, rest in peace, I guess. Yeah, because these are the new ones now.
Yeah, so immediately I see the words SFA style Ken standing medium punch, and I'm like, oh, this character's got the best anti-air in the game now. That
it's
button's
possible.
so fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, no,
Alpha.
I know how Alpha Ken works. That's possible.
Yeah, he might just have like that's like poison stand medium punched here.
In a game where with some dire exceptions like poison, in a game where normals as anti-airs are generally quite underwhelming, this could be really good.
Yeah, that's a nice change. I say best anti-air in the game hyperbolically. I think it would be quite good, and I think that's a good change in general because I think right now if you don't have charge, Ken doesn't really have anti-airs.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the way it is. That's how charge characters are sometimes. I don't love the design style, but it is what it is.
I love charge characters.
Crouch. Well, no, I didn't mean like I dislike charge characters. I mean like charge characters that don't have anything of note unless they have charge.
Oh yeah.
I don't like charge characters that literally don't function unless you have charge. I'm not saying that Ken was like that, but like I don't know.
Well, he almost was.
He almost was. If charge wasn't 30 frames, he is. If charge wasn't so easy, he is.
Yeah.
Crouching medium punch. I don't think this matters too much because you weren't really using crouching medium punch in pokes.
No, I mean you used it as a counter poke, but it was mostly a confirm tool.
Right. Like I don't think this is too important. Old far heavy punch, Fire Alpha style. I think this might just be another buff.
Yeah, now it's a big fucking straight punch, and if it has a nice hitbox on it, that's a good standing poke, which Ken currently lacks.
So now I'm starting to think this isn't like I skimmed over these patch notes and I was like, this is a nerf for Ken, but now I'm not so sure.
I think he might be not so bad.
Now
this doesn't seem so bad.
Now I'm starting to think he's just different, like around the same tier, but just different. Because the big thing that was giving me like Doomer energy is that I've seen how step kick looks now. That move is bad. That step kick is not.
It's rough now.
Well,
sure.
Okay. I'm dooming. I shouldn't say bad. It went from like a shotgun that you just let it fly whenever you want and go into EX and go into to EX Hadoken and win, to you might get counter poked sometimes.
And you definitely can get whiff punished now.
Yeah, you definitely can get. He can't just do it, which I think is a good. I think it's a good change. I think it's a good change that he can't.
It makes
just
it less
do it.
annoying. Well, also something to note is the more recovery in general. A big thing that made Ken's pressure so good was that EX Hadoken is plus 80, but there's also the fact that step kick was only -2. So you didn't really
put yourself in any
block
danger
a step
ever.
kick. You block a step kick, and sure, he's minus, but you don't want to mash because that might be an EX Hadoken and you die. It's over. So, you don't mash on it, and he's only -2, so he can really easily just like dash back in, jab, and you're back in the vortex.
And then overhead is slower, but you get a combo on ground hit now, I think.
You did before, but it was a standing combo, so this is actually slight nerf. The hard knockdown is fucked though. That's
Yeah,
fucked.
the hard knockdown. It gets real hard knockdowns in juggles now.
That's fucked.
Um,
Because now you get left rights with Hadoken into Ghost Teleport.
Okay. I like that. Again, Ghost Teleport also got left. You could do Tatsu earlier, which just makes his mix-ups more ambiguous.
Oh, so yeah, the left right's even more ambiguous now. Okay. No, I see the goal with this character. I fuck with it.
Yeah, they want you to use the ghost jumps more. He's more of a mix-up character instead of
Yeah,
just
it feels like he's more set play.
Yeah, he's more mix-up and set play instead of throw EX Hadoken lol.
To be fair, I haven't seen a nerf to EX Hadoken yet either, so
and that's
may
it.
still just have that.
He may still just have that, but
I also see Tatsu's canceled a ghost jump now, which is scary.
I think this character might be cool.
I might play this character, honestly. This seems cool.
He might become cool, which is...
I might start being a Ken player. He seems cool.
I wouldn't...
Also, I want to play Ken because I play him in so many fucking Street Fighter games. I play him in every other Street Fighter game except this one.
The next two changes... Ooh, this'll be fun. The next two changes are quite small. Well, not too small for... I think this is rough.
That's definitely a big nerf, but it's not character killer.
One thing I've noticed with this patch is that it's just kind of lowering the power level of most of the cast, so that the reward meterlessly isn't as crazy as it used to be. Because I'm assuming that's not the game that Miriam is trying to make, where you get crazy reward.
And I can respect being like, yeah, you can't get 600 meterless. Like, yeah, okay, that's fair.
That's fair enough, yeah. I don't like or dislike it because I don't play Ibuki. Again, if Fleur was here,
I've played her a little bit. This is fine. It's definitely a nerf. Don't get me wrong. This is definitely a nerf, but it's not like she's not low tier now. She's still solid.
Of course not. Yeah, unless she gets more changes, I think she'll be okay. This doesn't affect his combos. I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, it kills ducking loops. That's about it.
Yeah, I think this will be okay. You used it as a poke sometimes, but he'll be okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's minor, for sure.
Do we want to do this now or come back to it later?
We'll go ahead and do it because I have a lot of things to say about Claw.
Okay.
But wow, those first two. Wow. Okay.
I don't know how to feel.
Yun really is top one.
I don't know how to feel about these yet. I don't know, because, like, my first instinct when I saw these was like, okay, that's fine. I don't think, like, the first thing I saw this is like, what does slower startup mean, you know? Like, I have to know
what... It's the same thing with, like, Makoto's jump cancels. If you can mash on claw pull command jump now...
Like, yeah. Like, this character's just high tier.
And on top... The one that sticks out to me is no upwards movement on air command jump. This character can be anti-aired now.
Can he? What about wall jump into...
Why would I let you wall jump if you're in the corner? Sure, but... Like, the thing is, what made that move so good was that, like...
He goes higher, yeah.
You would be in position to anti-air him, and then he would jump and bounce over you. Like, it changes where he lands. It doesn't anymore. It'll act like he'll have better aerial drift, so there's that.
Yeah.
But, like, you have to think of it like a gradient. Like, there was a big potential gradient of places Claw could land. That gradient's like half now.
Maybe. I see where you're coming from. When I get a second pair of eyes on it, that would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know how effective that'll be to stop his runaway. And his... Well, I don't even think it's like necessarily the claw ran away from you. He did. but it's just that he had so much mobility that anytime he was like, I'm uncomfortable, I could just leave. And he'll
Yeah.
still have that in the corner, which is like a big deal. I think you'll
I don't
still.
even know because I don't think like this is enough to me that I think like
You think it's a character
like,
killer?
I don't know if it's a character killer. Like I said, we'll have to see. But like, take for example this, right? You say like he can still get out of the corner for free. If this thing didn't have any upwards movement, you can't get to the other side of the screen. Your little like wall jump stalling thing.
Yeah,
no longer works.
the wall jump stalling thing will be gone, but that's fine. It was
But
fake anyway.
like that's the thing is, let's put it this way: if I'm like what made that so good was
Right.
that if I was standing anywhere closer to you than half screen away, most characters could not chase it down, at least not consistently.
Mhm.
Now you're not able to get full screen after a wall jump in the corner, more than likely.
Probably.
Again, we'll have to see.
Yeah, again, we'll have to see because it depends on how the momentum changes. But
But now I feel like you can probably chase that.
I
And
think,
like he still has claw dive follow-ups, don't get me wrong, so there's still that mix up.
yeah,
present.
he still has, he could stop all momentum on a dime. But
And that's still good.
I think this might make swatting him out of the air. It goes from impossible, or you had to do like a crackhead call out to beat it, to maybe not like guaranteed, but like you can do it. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
now you can do it.
it's not just that he's a fucking flight mode character and is above you
Yeah.
all the time. It's just that it's hard, but you can do it. Which I
Yeah,
think
like,
is okay.
And again, it also just piles on to like, man, this was one of the only characters who consistently beat Yun, and Yun's unchanged.
Yeah, Yun is completely, that character's working as intended. I don't, honestly, I'll be real. These other three changes don't mean too much in
Yeah, this is
comparison.
all fine.
In comparison to this, it's like chip damage. You didn't get chip kills with this anyway. Heavy punch version.
Nova More Phantom Hit is funny because that means there are a lot more ways to whiff punish this move now.
Probably. We'll see. Slight damage. I don't know what this is actually. I guess this is counter. That's counter
Damage
hit.
buff.
No, because this is. I guess this is
Or
counter
no.
hit.
Oh yeah.
So it just does. It not even that it does less because you used heavy punch for the combos. This is just it has
It means
different
its jump
versions of
start up is
damage.
slower, by the way, according to Miriam.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But it's more how slower.
Yeah, it's how slower because like if it's slower to like heavy claw pull into flip kick doesn't work anymore. Yeah, okay, okay.
It's rough.
That's,
I mean, to be fair, this is how you cut Claw's legs off.
I guess so.
Even
Yeah.
with this, he still has Claw's normals and damage, so I think he's still fine.
He still has claws, normals, and damage unless like heavy punch version has slower startup, means his combos literally don't work.
We'll see.
Which Miriam doesn't usually balance like that, but also poison. So who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see. I will say, like after reading these, I am not gonna doom about it because you know who I am dooming about is this guy.
This is a lot.
This character.
This is a lot.
Evil Ryu players are on suicide watch. Let me tell you, it's
Early beta 26 me. This is rough. This is a lot.
This is bad. Like I'm not even gonna front to you. This is rough. So this is not too bad. You can't cancel.
Yeah, I play this character, so I'm interested in this.
You can't cancel into. I guess you can't cancel into forward heavy punch from heavies, but it now
That's pretty rough for us confirmed.
That's pretty rough.
It now launches, but you can't cancel into it. So I'm not quite sure what that does.
If it combos from mediums, cool. I don't know how much use there will be to having it be a launcher though.
For standing medium kick has slightly slower startup. That's fine. You can whiff.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so you can get stuff off of overhead better now.
Can whiff and chain the forward heavy punch and forward medium kick.
Which is nice, I suppose. This increased recovery is mostly here to prevent infinites. But I mean, you weren't really doing full screen Tatsu, unless
Yeah,
you were.
it's just a bigger risk now.
Yeah.
This is kind of nice, actually.
Increased JP on DP does it seems cool in a vacuum.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice change because that, like, a big part of his non-evil install routes was like light DP into dash forward heavy punch.
Right.
This will be a big. That means he can do it later in combos. That's a big deal.
He's gonna be doing the big Shoryuken for his combo routes, and I like characters that
I love the big Shoryuken.
I kind of like characters that do multiple DPs. You know how I feel about this. I really like characters that can do multiple DPs. You can teleport cancel. You can't teleport cancel. You can cancel teleport into supers or CC, which is
Demon is now much more real.
yeah, that's neat, I suppose. But we'll go over this before we get into this because this is insane. No longer gives evil.
I played a lot of this character, and so has Heather. So the evil install nerfs are gonna be fun.
No longer gives evil mode on hit. I'm of the opinion it never should have.
That's fine.
Because
That's a good thing.
Yeah, because last patch, the threat of evil install for 2 bars was just too good.
It was too good. Demon was too good, and especially if you had kept that and also teleport canceled Demon is a thing now. Ooh.
Yeah, this character would have been messed up. Evil install. Input has been changed to hold medium punch plus medium kick when revenge and EX meters are full. So you press the charge button when all of your resources are maxed out and you get install. It requires full EX meter and full revenge, but it doesn't drain them, so you pop it for free when you max out on everything.
Okay.
Drains 300 HP. I'm assuming that be careful so you don't die means you can kill yourself with this. I assume that's what it means.
Oh, Sasuga Samurai.
You can kill yourself. What's funny is it's 300 HP too, so if you're on 30%, you gotta be careful. You might be at 299 right there.
Can only refill revenge bar by walking or standing still for 8 frames.
This is a big deal because one of the ways the evil install was a little busted in now is that you can only refill EX refills if you stand still for that long, but if you dash, it immediately refills.
Right.
Which is why his loops worked. So now you're being forced to do it. That's a big change because a lot of his loops aren't gonna work anymore.
It's gonna kill a lot of his loops, which I think is a good thing.
Charge during evil mode refills EX, but not revenge.
Yikes.
That seems broken, but
I don't know if I'd say broken. That seems strong.
That seems powerful. I guess this
and now
means...
you're sure you can and evil cancels.
I guess
that's a buff.
I guess
because you can do fireball DP.
I guess
you know what it is to me though. You know what it is to me. Once again, with CC on every normal, unchanged. GG's. Evil Ryu still #1.
So the thing is that special cancel to cancel drains revenge instead of EX. I guess the meter that's being spent now is revenge gauge and not EX.
But you also still, and that's the other thing is with CC, but now you have to have full CC to get evil installed too.
Yeah. So that's a big
This is a lot.
You know what? I actually like these changes.
Me too.
Really.
I
expected both of you to be like, I'm not playing this game anymore.
No, I like these changes. It makes Evil Ryu more interesting.
It does make him more objectively
worse.
Objectively, it makes him more interesting.
It makes him he's worse, but now there's more emphasis on the part of Evil Ryu that I like, and that's the pre-install part of Evil Ryu. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, the part where you gotta play the fighting game,
Now-
and then the install is just a nice buff
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you can do to make big comebacks.
Now evil install is like, it reminds me of like Carmine
Like,
in Uni.
I already think Evil Ryu was pretty good without the install, anyways.
Yeah,
So, like,
solid.
how I feel about him is, yeah, he's worse, but I don't feel too different.
I think,
He's still solid. I think that this is like S plus to like maybe low S.
yeah, I
But
think,
Yeah,
we'll
like,
see.
he's still going to be
Still good.
I think this is a
decently high
pretty,
tier character.
I think this is a pretty ingenious way to work around the dumb change of like, what was it? Make his win animation drain all of his meter.
Yeah, make his win animation drain all of his meter.
Just all of it. If you won the round with 3.9 bars, what a shame. You're back down to 0.
K groove.
It's literally K groove rage. No, I think like my opinion of it is like I do think the character is objectively more interesting. I think he isn't. I don't think he's like dead.
No.
And
He's no longer
No,
top tier.
he will
but-
never be dead. This is not a dead
Yeah.
character.
No,
this
I-
is not a dead character.
I don't think so. Like he won't have infinites anymore.
This is
but,
still
like,
this is still a really good character to me.
It's
I
just
think
Evil
it's-
Ryu is now gonna be like,
Because
to me, this just makes him the most Shoto character.
yeah, he's gonna
I mean,
be an actual showdown.
if anything, right? Everything that I thought made him incredibly strong, anyways, besides evil install, is still there to me. So
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is like literally none of the American players have learned how to do with CCOS that you were figuring out. Like none of us have tried that.
Yeah, we don't. Well, I also like I have. There's not many Evil Ryu players.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
me,
like-
and I haven't played them in a minute, and I haven't been in tournaments in a minute either.
Yeah, so like to me, like what makes Evil Ryu like really strong outside of like the activate is still there. So I'm still probably gonna consider him a contender for top tier.
That's okay.
Honestly speaking,
I think that's.
I'm still
fine.
gonna consider him a contender for top tier
And
because what actually like pushes him over the edge for me is still in the game.
and real talk, I'm at that point with Claw too, where like, I gotta see it with my own eyes. You know,
A lot of this, I still want to see.
like Claw with those changes. I've been doing the calculations in my head. In a best case scenario, this does nothing. And in a worst case scenario, he's like
This
top
makes
10.
him high tier.
Yeah, he's like top
He's,
10.
He's still top.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still good.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be.
Whoop-de-doo, he goes from being top 5 to top 10.
I don't think it's going to be because like I like playing Claw. I don't think it's going to be a Blanca or Poison situation where he's just not gonna be fun anymore. I
You
think
know how
what's-
happy I am for the first. It's been 2 patches in a row that Miriam shot my characters in the head. I finally get to skip one.
you're not
time
saying.
is coming
Hey,
next. Your time is
listen.
coming next.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Your
you're
time
not
is coming
saying.
next.
Miriam said she hasn't gotten around to Yun yet. You're not
Just
safe.
keep it away. Yeah, you should release this real quick,
You're not safe.
right? Just without the Yun changes, real quick.
Alright, so who's the next character?
Last character, and it's another doozy. Sakura.
Yeah.
Throw juggles. Yippee!
Oh, awesome.
Yippee! Throw jug, the one thing she was missing, guys.
Awesome. Woo, what? This is a lot.
This is a lot.
I don't know. You know how I feel about throw.
Yeah, no, I mean, even me and Cleo are like, that won't be
And that's
big of
and
a
that's
deal.
and that's the thing. It's like maybe we're just cracked because nobody else in the community can react to throw except the 3 of us. Maybe we're just cracked. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, we are, but that doesn't.
Like
still.
is throw like broken and every
You're asking a Marvel player to react to fucking, what is it, 20 frames?
like I'm trying to think if like throw is just broken at every level of play except top level, and I don't think so.
Well, no, because
I don't think so because throw is kind of cheeks. I'm not gonna lie. Like if the like in because I brought this up recently, like I brought this up like at first, right? If the intent of throw is to stop someone from mashing, what's stopping them from not mashing and just teching on reaction?
Right, because
Like,
you don't
can block
preempt.
for a very long time in
You
Remix.
you do not preempt throw tech in this game. You don't have to.
you don't
should.
you really don't have to. There's also like, and I was experimenting this before my local kind of just stopped playing for a little bit, like doing Kara throw, like Kara crouch button to throw to basically give you a bootleg crouch tech.
Right.
Like there's that too. There's like, I don't think you necessarily need to like, you, I don't know. If the intent is to stop mashing, then like, okay, I'll stop mashing and just tech instead. I mean like,
Right. There's not much of a threat of mix-up.
like,
Right.
the threat of throw is the reward off throw, but if the reward off throw comes off of a 20 frame tech window, it's like, okay.
Right. And I don't know. Like
I just don't care for throw. I think this is a very
this game's very
I-
this game's just not a throw game.
I think it's a strike stagger pressure kind of game.
Absolutely. And high low and
And
Left, right.
every single way you'll typically use to disrespect pressure is an anti-throw option anyways.
Mhm.
Right.
So you mash, but you're not gonna mash with like a light button. Unless
Yeah.
you're out of throw range. Unless you're out of throw range and trying to preemptively stop someone from getting into throw range. Like, what you actually disrespect options like throw options with is going to be an anti-throw option anyways.
That's gonna
So,
be a
like,
DP or
and disrespecting options is big in this game. I said it last. I said it in the last Remix Mondays. Disrespecting options in this game is like a key component of actually playing this game at like a high to top level.
Mhm.
It's being able to find gaps where you can disrespect and it makes sense to disrespect offense,
yeah, like
or
that's
being able to stop knowledge checks. Really,
yeah, like stuff this is fake, but the reason it's fake is because it outright loses to DPs because like reversals in this game are so good.
Yeah.
so good.
They'll never not be good, I think.
Reversals
I mean-
in this game are so good.
and I mean, you guys know how I feel about CC. How the threat of CC is like the fact it exists, not the fact you can do it.
Mhm. Like any good like any strong resource, really.
Yeah, because like the thing about CC, like CC act like cancel DP CC cancel is not the fact you can do it. It's the fact that like because CC exists, wake up button is a real good option.
Mash on wake up is very good in this game. If you have CC.
And I mean, I think like from what I've seen from like Remix Mondays, with no offense to the players really, like no one I've seen from Remix Mondays outside of like really Cleo, Callie, and Nerdy know how to mash on wake up. So
A lot of
'Cause they
people
mo-
right now still block on wake up or reversal. Like that's the only two options.
which blocking on wake up is fine.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have CC, like the thing is actually present that as a threat.
Mhm.
Present it as a threat, because if you can get away with like a DPCC every so often, right? You can get away with wake up button, you can get away with walk up button, maybe even walk up throw because of the mental stack.
Yeah, people aren't going to be ready to
Because
tech.
20 frames is 20 frames, but 20 frames stops being 20 frames when you don't expect it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when you never present an option like walk up throw, because the problem with throw is that players, from what I've seen in Remix Mondays, present that option way too much for it to be effective.
Mhm.
Way too much. Throw is something you do once per game to me. It's a once per game mix up.
And
You
it's
do it when you're not supposed to throw. You do it when they're not gonna be expecting it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when it works best. I forget what this move is.
That's her command jump and dive kick. So it's like a demon flip kind of thing.
Okay.
Switches direction if the jump crosses up is good because that means it can cross up better now.
Okay.
Because it couldn't really cross up that well before. She has more of a left-right mix-up off of it.
Just a nice buff, and then these two are just a bug fix, or not even a bug fix, quality of life, and then just a nice little buff to give her a hard
Now
knockdown.
she has a hard knockdown. Cool. So
knocking off sweep 2 is very nice too, I think.
yeah.
Pussy sweep, yeah.
So her
Fireballs
fireballs
hit 2 times for level 2 and 3 hits for max, and then even more hits for the EX version.
EX fireballs, if you charge all the way, can go up to 5 hits.
So armor breakers, but that's it.
Max level fireballs no longer wall bounce. They juggle, so I guess you can do these in combos. But
Okay.
the fact that max level fireballs no longer wall bounce means I don't think there's a reason to store a max charge anymore.
Well, that's what makes them scary and neutral is like you can't really convert off of a level 1 or level 2, but you could convert off a level 3.
Yeah, now you can't anymore.
Yeah, that's rough.
You especially can't because it reduced the hit stop. You especially can't convert off of it.
That too. That's rough.
So it's not a combo fireball. It is a big old neutral fireball, which is fine, I guess.
That's what? I think that's fine considering like her 2 HK got a hard knockdown.
Yeah, she seems to be. She's a more footsies character now.
She's a more footsies oriented character, and that's perfectly fine because that's where Sakura shines to me.
She's definitely
even in remix, she shines to me in like the footsies department.
She's not.
Footsies are quite good.
She's especially not going to be hard rush down anymore because of this.
What is it? Like no longer air dash as a regular toss hit, only X version. EX version no longer has up, fall up, and juggles. Thing is like the damage hurts her, sure, but.
Well, this kills her damage, but it also messes up her resets.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has no more resets.
Not no more, but the resets she had are gone.
I guess you have to spend for it now.
You gotta have a bar. That's the end of it. Yeah, if you want to do a loop, you have to have a bar.
That's fine.
Yeah. This is not a character killer.
I don't think Sakura is gonna be killed. I think because where is she right now? Like.
Ninth? Like 9th or 10th.
I think that character in her current state, she could have gone as high as like 5th, but
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. From what I understand of her, I think Sakura like at her best would have been like a top.
She would have broke. I think she would have been right next to Evil Ryu.
I think so too. She'd be in that Evil Ryu guile tier.
I think with this change, like with these changes, Sakura becomes the actual 9th best character.
Yeah,
I think
this is where she's at
right now. Is like what was her like practical max is now legitimately just her theoretical max now.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense.
Just fine.
Well, also this is a big thing because Sakura is in that tier like Oni, where both of those characters to me have no reason to spend meter at all on anything ever.
And now they do.
Oni obviously does, and so does Sakura.
You know what I think is interesting about Oni though? Like, what I think is interesting about Oni is that like I was talking about it last remix as well, and Cleo will definitely bring this up when I bring it up as well. Is like the thing that stops certain characters from being really strong isn't necessarily their power level, but how they interact with characters in this game. And Oni is a prime example because Oni Claw is dog shit.
Yeah,
that looks
really bad.
Because the thing about characters in this game is that when you have to fight someone like Claw and everything you do is everything Claw does but worse. You even if you're not necessarily a bad character, right? The fact you can get gate kept out of the game because of certain characters existing is a really bad thing. Oni is going to die, and it's not even necessarily that he becomes an ultra weak character. It's because he's not gonna be able to fight Claw at all.
Yeah, that's gonna be a worse matchup, even with Claw's nerfs, depending on how not bad those nerfs are.
Because I think if the wall dive, and the command jump flip nerfs aren't that bad, this character might be top 1 to top 1. It might be another case of it.
Nah, maybe. Yun being unnerfed still. But
He's not gonna
Miriam
go
says
unchanged.
Miriam said he's not going unchanged, which is good because I said that too. I knew she wouldn't leave him unchanged because that would be stupid. Because if she did, this game would suck. This game would suck.
It would be very funny if he's got nerfed literally every patch we've played and he's still top 1.
That would be really, yeah. This would be the third patch in a row. Claw got nerfed and was still top 1.
Top 1 to top 1 to top 1.
Well, he was top 3 in beta 25. He was we called him third, I think,
I think so, yeah.
because it was Blanca, Boxer, Claw.
Yeah. Okay. The other changes to Sakura are just, I don't remember what her 236. Honestly,
Upkick.
in my head, this character has 2 special moves: Fireball and Tatsu.
She's also got a DP, and it's pretty good. It's really good, actually.
Oh,
So
yeah,
this
sure.
actually will be a big deal. So I want to slower startup. That's a big deal. These are all really. This is a big change. No, this is a really big change, actually. So one of Sakura's biggest strengths, besides her damage, was her DP. Her light DP had a metric fuck ton of invincibility, and her DPs canceled up kicks on hit or block. That's how they become plus. Was that heavy up kick was plus?
Okay,
But now
gotcha.
these do these little tatsus now, and the light version is no longer is slower, which means that it might not be a true block string from light DP like it used to be.
Which is tough, but also fair.
No, I mean she didn't need it.
She didn't need it.
I'm all for removing safe on block reversals personally.
I mean,
Quote
now
young player.
Now she just like has to play under the rules of like most other characters with reversals, and that's
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
like
That's
DP and a CC.
That's a thing
Yeah, she's
that
got
I've
PCC still, and that's fine.
That's a thing that I've noticed with this patch, is that it, like, I was doing about it earlier because I was like, this feels like all nerfs, and it kind of is.
It's
but
kind of homogenizing the game, though.
that's what I was thinking about. Is like it's gently capping the power level of the strongest characters and making the game more like what it's supposed to be.
Like again, outside of Yun, who we just haven't gotten the patch notes for yet, I would say pretty much the entire top 5 has just been like comfortably pressed down into the tier below them.
Because we know what'll happen to Hawk. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'll be honest. If the only change Hawk gets is EXSPD is jumpable, he goes from what I thought was the best character in the game to one of the best characters in the game, because it is still oppressive to deal with those mix-ups regardless.
I think
because
he's
of how much you can layer.
I think he's
Yeah.
still the best grappler, but Zangief actually, I think, kind of has a place in the meta because he's so fast for no reason.
Like it inadvertently like makes Zangief more real. But I'll be honest, I don't think like if it's literally only EXSPD is jumpable now. I mean,
He'll still be that good.
You'll still play the character, won't you?
He will still be. I think he'll still be top 5.
I think he'll still be.
Okay.
I think he'll still comfortably top 5.
I
That's
think
my
he'll still be top 5.
that's my question. In all the changes that you've seen, and the changes you know are coming to Hawk, are you still going to play all of your characters?
Yes, I will still be playing. I'll still be playing Hawk. I'll still be playing Evilry, and I'll still be playing Cammy.
Yeah, I mean Cammy didn't get touched.
Cammy might
Cammy
get
did-
better. Cammy might get better if the
Cammy-
characters that like destroy her.
I mean, Cammy might get better, but like, if anything, like, okay, Cammy like accidentally gets better. Hawk, the only nerf he gets is EXSPD. Okay, now I just have to guess right, which I'm good at doing. So, like, ever see me guess wrong in a fucking fighting game? Didn't think so. Hawk's still top 1 in my hands.
I think he's still going to be top 5. If that's the only change.
That's the only change. Hawk has to guess right. Guess what? I'm good at guessing right. Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah, it's like
Alright.
Hawk having EXSPD be jumpable being the only change is just going to be like, okay, now I actually have to think. Oh
Yeah.
Okay. and he is still effectively the same character. He's gonna run the same game plan. He's still gonna want to condition you into holding a heavy SPD. Okay, because he is still gonna have like delay EX or delay SPD OSs. He's still gonna have EX SPD as like the best DP in the game. You're still not gonna be able to safe jump him.
He's
Which
still gonna
means-
have stand heavy kick.
He's still gonna have stand heavy kick. Like if the only change is, because you know what, even if you make the change, oh, we're gonna add like a frame of startup into EXSPD, the frame count where you have to make EXSPD like a 6 frame, like 5 or 6 frame command grab, or just straight up not invuln, which would defeat the purpose, I think.
Mhm.
Like 5 or 6 frame command grab, that's when you make EXSPD not safe jumpable, because then you can just jump out.
Yeah.
But because otherwise you get clipped on your landing, which is why you can't
And
traditionally
also-
safe jump the like Shota DPs.
And also worth mentioning is his meterless command grabs will still be the fastest moves in the game. He has the only instant startup move in the entire game.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal because this game is a lot of like, I'm minus, but let me cancel into this other thing and frame trap you anyway.
No, Hawk gets to disrespect that very well. Like
He's very good at it.
the reason I think Hawk is like the best character in the game is because he does everything in Remix to the best of its ability.
Mhm.
He two touches you better than the entire cast, I feel like. Just on principle of how his toolkit is, he's the best at disrespecting any kind of offense in the game. Just on principle of how EXSPD works and how regular SPD works.
Right.
And in a game where the pressure is strike, then you have to like start going, okay, I'm scared of SPD. I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna like do a button into an air normal. Okay, now I have DP now. I can look at that.
Mhm.
Like you've given me answers. You already can't jump at him in neutral, which means you have to jump back, and DP will chase that anyways. Like Hawk has the tools to deal with everything. It's not like his pussies are bad either, because stand heavy kick is amazing.
Yeah. His
Yeah,
foot
stands-
is- and it's not like his
pussies-
defense is bad because, like you said, he has the best disrespecting tools in the game.
Yeah, like I think Hawk is top one because he does everything that I think a character needs to have to do well in Remix, but better than anyone else.
And like with Claw being not nerfed, but like definitely weaker than he was, Hawk is he's gonna like he'll have a chance to move up even with a nerf. He might still go up.
Yeah, like even if you nerf EXSP, if that's the only change you make,
I think when we
bygones
see
be
the
bygones.
when we see the Hawk changes and when we see the eventual Yun changes, what it's gonna be is that the general power level of the game has just fallen a bit, and
Yeah,
I don't- I don't know how to
most
feel
characters
about
are
that.
in this- I think most characters are just gonna kind of be in the same spot though.
Yeah, I think
I
they're
think it's
gonna be. I think they're
It's
gonna be in the same
reordering,
spot.
but I mean, okay.
I think the game. I think in the best case scenario, the tier list is mostly the same, but the game is just more fun to play because there's less
mean,
obnoxious stuff.
It'll just be
more-
like the tier list we have, but there's no more S plus tier, and Rolento's the only character in B tier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
QO
'cause-
still.
Legitimately, it's just like because I think the only like I'm gonna be like very
Well-
like
well-
pushy about Hawk being the best character in the game because to me he is. I think he just kind of does everything well.
the thing is that Miriam said she's not giving him light to medium chains, Hugo. Not
I respect
having,
that.
So yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how he changes, but to generally just like last minute wrap up my thoughts on because we've been streaming for almost 2.5 hours. To generally wrap up thoughts, if each of you want to like talk for a couple minutes on if you like the direction the game is going in. And,
Who wants to go? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Okay. In terms of the game, the direction the game's going in, I think this is good. A big thing that attracted me to Remix and like Beta 26, because I'll just be real, I liked Beta 26 more than I like Beta 27, like just flat out. because I miss Poison, man. But a big thing that attracted me to this game was that it felt extremely balanced. And I think a big part of balance is homogenizing the cast. I think when you have a cast of characters that are this different, because every remix character is basically playing a different game to some extent, I think it's good to try and like make as much shit universal and as much shit like fair in that sense as possible. I think I like removing infinites. I think making the damage lower is fine. I think lowering the character power in general is fine. Just because, like, to me, the issue with Remix in Beta 27 was that Yun, Hawk, and Claw were just that good. Like, realistically, the Beta 27 tier list we made had Hugo and Relento in B tier, but just because those two characters literally can't beat top tiers, I think you could actually say they're worse than that functionally. Like, even though they're not there, even though they're like, yeah, you can play them, sure, but you're not ever going to win anything with either of those characters because you have to fight 8-2 matchups regularly.
Yeah, it's not even that they have bad matchups, it's that their bad matchups are against the most popular characters in the game.
Yeah, and multiple of them.
Yeah.
Because, like, let's be real, even though I say Hugo Yun is the worst matchup, it's not like Hugo Claw is good.
Yeah, it's not like he's winning.
It's not like Hugo Gen is good. Or Hugo fucking, I don't know. Ibuki. I don't know, Hugo Ibuki might not be bad, actually, but still. Like, just the character, I think lowering the strength in that sense, again, like, brings up the lower tiers, and if we do see Hugo and Relento get buffs, like, to me, this seems like we're just going to take the tier list we have, but there's no more S plus tier and no more B tier. And I like that. I fuck with that, because that means the game is just a lot more open. You can do a lot more shit.
Remix with 3 tiers would be weird.
It would, because we've not had it like that ever.
That reminds me of, like, fucking Arxis games, where the cast is so homogenized that there's just, like, viable and not viable.
I wouldn't know. I mean, the Exerd has like a B tier. Exerd has some garbage characters, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I think, because now that I've formed my thoughts a little bit, I think a lot of these changes are like nice, if not maybe to some degree somewhat inconsequential, depending on what we actually play, because at the end of the day, a lot of these changes feel like homogenizing the game and making sure that a lot of as many characters as possible are playing within set rules of the games. Now that we have a more fuller understanding of how the game should be played, with without sacrificing too much of what makes Remix unique, and that's its character identity. I think at the end of the day, certain characters are just going to be good by design, and I think just by design some characters are not going to be able to fight other characters to the extent that maybe you would want them to be able to fight, just on the basis that you cannot fix a matchup where a character does the same thing as the other character but significantly better. At most you can make that matchup even, but you can't make it. But beyond that, it's either going to be the worst matchup you've ever played, or an even matchup. Bridging the gap between what is bottom tier and what is top tier is a very welcome start. I'm looking at Evil Ryu. I'm looking at potentially what Hawk gets, and I'm looking at, by accident, Cammy's better. By total accident, because she's not gotten changed, but everyone else who is above her has gotten nerfed. Now, I do think Cammy is a very weird character because she is pretty polarizing in how she does against the top tiers. I don't think she does that bad against Claw. Play against Hawk, fuck that.
Yeah, that matchup's terrible.
Play against Guile, fuck that. Cammy was a very polarizing character in that regard. Cammy is still going to end up being gatekept by certain characters just because that's how Remix characters are going to be. They're going to gatekeep certain characters and that's just
Then
again that's just how it's gonna be because
nothing
like
you can do about
you
that.
can't you can't fix an ecosystem of characters as easily as you would want to. Otherwise, we want a game where everyone is just kind of doing their thing and pretty viable. But that just won't be how it is because if the reality is that there are characters who will just shit on other characters because they do everything they do but better, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Well, also, like, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry,
No,
but
it's fine.
like,
It's fine.
when you say stuff like that, that makes me think of like ST, which is a game I like a lot, where ST is a very matchup heavy game. Like there's a tier list, but a lot of what matters is that characters shit on other characters.
I think Remix is a matchup. I think Remix is going to end up being a more matchup heavy game with this patch actually, rather than tier based. And some characters are gonna. Oni is. I'm not gonna lie. Where was he in the tier list before?
Low S.
Yeah, low S tier. Not amazing, but not bad by any means.
I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a tier lower.
It's weird to
Probably.
say that a character in S tier is not amazing.
That's what I mean by that's what I meant by I think the power level this patch was too high.
Yeah.
I actually think if you weren't playing one of the top 3 characters, you were gonna struggle. End of story.
I think Oni gets significantly worse, even if you nerf Claw, because he still has to fight Claw.
Mm-hmm.
He still has to fight Claw.
I think Oni in a vacuum. I think Oni's nerfs are much worse than Claw's nerfs.
I think Oni might be the most nerfed character this patch.
I think it's interesting to like look at these characters in a vacuum and go, okay, these characters got better, these characters got worse, etc., etc. But the reality is that no matter how good or bad you make a character, they still have to play against other characters in the cast.
Yeah.
And Oni, he gets double fucked. He gets double fucked because he has to he gets worse. And he still has to play Claw, who is effectively getting what might potentially be a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, like Claw, depending on how extreme the command jump nerf is, he is going from top 1 to top 3. Depending on how bad the nerfs for Yun and Hawk are, we may literally go into the next patch with the exact same top 3.
But now it's more tolerable because they can fight.
It's just like the same top 3, but they're in the same bracket of power as the other characters.
I don't know, because I think if Hawk only gets that one change, I think Hawk will actually be on a tier of his own.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think Hawk will be on a tier of his own because he doesn't lose anything.
Claw might end up perfectly fine, and Yun's changes will either be they're either gonna be like Claw's, where it's like a change to he doesn't have a safe on block DP and maybe slight damage nerfs. Or it's poison. We have no idea.
I mean, if we're going by the track record of my mains, it might be poison.
It might be poison.
Are the nerfs Claw or poison? They're good nerfs.
I can't know if the claws. I can't know if the nerfs are Claw or poison until I look in the box.
Get ready to learn Spanish, buddy.
I know.
Get ready. Playing Gan, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. Get ready to learn Chinese.
There's gonna be 2 Claw mains at this point. Fuck. I got no choice at this point.
My thoughts.
Just stay the fuck away from my characters.
Yeah, honestly,
I'm picking up Hawk. I'm picking up Hawk right now.
No, you do not do this.
Dude,
I'm picking up Hawk right now.
Your character one of your characters is getting a slap on the wrist, and the other one got reworked, completely overhauled.
I got lucky this match. I got lucky this.
Yeah, you can. I mean, we'll have to see the Yun notes. But
despite all of my best efforts to kill Hawk,
that's
he's the same character probably.
Yeah, he's probably the same character, except there's interaction on his offense now.
Oh God.
My opinion is I homogenization scares me, right? Like as a
No, I don't blame
concept,
you.
you understand, right? Like
Yeah, I don't blame
No,
you.
I completely understand. Yeah.
because I think like homogenization scares me because the end result of too much homogenization is Grand Blue. And that
Mhm.
scares me to death.
That game sucks.
That my favorite fighting game might turn into Grand Blue. That scares me to death.
Oh god, if Remix becomes Grand Blue, I hate it. I can't do it anymore. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be a full-time KOF player.
Yeah, like homogenization is a really scary idea to me. So the idea that a patch is mostly nerfs, um, and like mostly nerfs is like it's not like it's not like half the cast got poison nerfs. You know, it's not like
No.
the power level of the game dramatically decreased. It's like a little bit off the top. It's
Yeah, we're just shaving a little.
it's not like because I know that Miriam will never do that because uh Miriam doesn't want this game to be Street Fighter 4 because she hates Street Fighter 4. So this game still needs to be not Street Fighter 4. Like
Right.
it can have Street Fighter elements, but it can't play like SF4 exactly. So that the basic philosophy behind the design of the game gives me hope. And I have faith in Miriam's design because I mean, 3 patches in, it's still probably my favorite fighting game ever. What?
Same.
Like, I trust the process. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like the patch notes seem scary in a vacuum, but also I was dooming about the patch notes for Claw. I'm tired of. I'm not. The dooming is like corny. I'm not gonna doom about the Claw shit because I did that last patch and he's still top 1. So
I mean, what's really the outcome? Like, you switch to Makoto,
you switch. Yeah, I switched to Makoto or Gen full time.
and it's like even after Poison got destroyed, I
You
still
still
play
play her. Yeah, you still play her. And
She's still like one of my favorite characters in the game.
and these changes look not nearly as effective. And so yeah, like I will still play Claw. Like I'm with Heather, where this has not. Okay, I'm gonna be real. I'm probably not gonna pick Oni in casuals anymore. I'm gonna be real, because
Oni looking like the new Adon.
the DP cancels were kind of really fun. That's kind of why I played the character. I'm probably not gonna pick him as much anymore, but like,
Well, I mean, to be fair, when's the last time you played Oni anyway?
yeah, it's like I'm gonna be playing Makoto. I'm gonna be playing Claw. I'm gonna be playing Gen.
Oh god, Gen's unchanged. That character's top 1 now.
Well,
I'm
Once
gonna
again.
I'm gonna have a good time.
Once again, I'm in Sam Show 7 Tam Tam land where my character is draft dodging basically.
Miriam said she's turning Remix into Grand Blue because it would get her paid.
You know what? I respect it, but I'm still going to be a full-time KOF player.
I think she would understand.
I respect it because you got to get paid.
You gotta get paid sometimes. I mean, that's okay. I'm still
Sometimes to make a little money, you got to make Grand Blue.
I'm still thinking about how I said at 4 a.m. last night, I got the creative writing autism instead of the being good at history or coding autism. And you said your autism gets you a $20,000 book deal. Mine gets me a YouTube channel with 800,000 subscribers where I talk about the top 10 most evil pharaohs.
That was one of the funniest jokes I've made in months.
That's one of the
Because it's true. It's true. I have a bunch of random history knowledge. Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a shit, man?
Who fucking cares, dog?
Yeah, I'm not getting paid off of it. Who gives a shit?
Me,
yeah.
I give a shit. History's awesome.
I will also get paid and to become a KOF player full time. That's awesome, Miriam.
You know what? Fuck yeah.
I respect that. Hell yeah.
I love KOF.
Well, KOF is a hot take. Hot take.
Okay, I'm listening.
King of Fighters.
Yep.
Pretty good game series. It's pretty good.
Fucking terrible take.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck
I'm
yourself.
so tired of these poser ass opinions. Game's such a good franchise. Game's such a good franchise.
You got go play Strive. Go play Strive.
I'm gonna take my white ass and play whatever fucking game people play.
I was just thinking about this yesterday. I was like, I had in my head, I was like, evil Heather would be like, dude, my Gran is pretty sick.
Oh no,
Evil Heather would play Gran.
Evil Heather is like, my
Wait.
Gran is pretty sick.
Gran is like actually the most anti-Heather character ever.
Yeah, evil Heather.
Gran is like literally the most not Heather character I can think of.
My Gran is pretty sick. I do light, medium,
Yeah.
heavy, super. I'm nice. That's why I hate.
No, because like that character is like literally nothing.
That character does. I think he had DP loops.
I love the implication that I play characters that are sometimes cool.
No, you play characters that are gay and stupid.
Yeah, Gran is the
And
most.
neither of those
Gran
things.
for reference, Gran is the most cis-sexual, heterosexual, straight
No,
white male character.
Literally, you can't be like any. Gran is just so fucking
Literally,
normal.
Callie was trying to play Grand Blue for a month, and she loves Shotos, and she couldn't even play Gran. That's how bad it was.
I love the basic white bread motherfucker. You give me a fireball and a DP, and I'm having a good time.
We'll play.
Not Gran.
We will play old Ken or new Ryu against Chun-Li for like 2 hours straight. But she could not stand. Or playing Ladiva for that matter.
I had to pick up the worst grappler ever just to feel anything.
To feel anything in that game. I had to play I
There was
played.
no hype in any other character.
I always think about like, I don't play I don't play characters because they're like cool or complex. I play characters because my opponent gets angry at me.
Like I said, gay and
And
stupid.
that's the thing is like, it's like the yellow. That's the yellow mentality, but you can back it up because you're actually good. It's like that's how yellow thinks about the game, but you're actually good, so it's scary and not stupid.
It's like. It's like, oh, why do you play Enhawk at a high level? It's like, do you think I think Enhawk is good? No, I think Sako loops are fucking disgusting to get hit by.
That's really funny.
It's like I play characters that are stupid and gay to make my opponent mad, harassment, versus I play characters that are stupid and gay to make my opponent mad, flirting.
Flirting, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Like I. God,
Because you know what
Grand
the
Blue
worst part
sucks.
is? You know what the worst part is? You know what the worst part is? I play these fucking characters, and most people can't even lie and say like I'm not sick.
Right, that's what's upsetting. That's what's upsetting. It's like you pick CVS2 Honda, and then it's like,
And I'm
man,
probably the sickest fucking player on the planet while doing it.
that's what's
Sickest
so
Honda.
upsetting.
I mean, to be fair, sickest Honda is like strongest preschooler.
True.
Damn right. And I'm fucking crazy at using the abacus stuff.
I'm crazy on the
You might be
swing
the
set,
only.
bro.
You might be. I'm crazy on. I'm cracked as fuck on the merry-go-round.
Let
dog.
me tell you,
I get
brother.
that shit fast as fuck, dog.
I'm crazy.
Dog, I'm so crazy at the seesaw, I can be there at both sides and start flying.
I can be there, but you're right. My mistake.
I misunderstood. I didn't know. I did not understand your game.
I catch 7 fucking seconds of airtime when I go down the slide and you hear the Tony Hawk special noise. Don't test me.
The fucking Tony Hawk special noise. That's true. Fucking no. I like how the.
I used to do McTwist over my geography teacher. Don't test me.
I like how the conversation about Remix devolved into how we hate every other fighting game except Remix and the games it's inspired by.
That's because fighting. That's like there's like 5 good fighting games
And
ever.
all of them are inspirations for Remix.
Yeah, it's like the only 5 good fighting games.
Heather posted her list of fighting game
Fighting
names
game
based
names.
off of how fun, and there was a version of Guile at the bottom. I said, "Now, what version of Guile is that?" She said, "SVCK." No further questions. No, no,
That game is
Oh,
so.
no further
ass.
questions about SVC Chaos Guile,
That
Your Honor.
game is ass.
No further questions.
That game is ass.
But if you look at that list, you can see some fucking diabolical motherfuckers on the top.
Oh yeah.
It's like X-Men versus Street Fighter, Magneto, and basically every version of Iron Man.
Every version of Iron Man.
Iron Man just in general.
It's a good musical character.
MK9 Cyrax.
Oh yeah, you have. Oh, I can't say that word while I'm
Which
live
version
on
of
stream.
which version of Iori is that? Is that 95 or 90?
At the very top, 95.
Yeah, that's 95. That's what I thought. That character's fucked up.
But look at all the versions of Iori I have and really fun. I just think that character
Iori's so
That
fun.
I think Iori might be pound for pound across all iterations the most fun fighting game character of all time.
He's up there.
It's like you look at the characters I play and it's like the exception in really fun characters is SF5 Sagat.
I forgot you played Sagat in SF5. Why'd you
I
play
love that
Sagat
game.
in SF5?
Because I was nasty.
Okay, fair enough. You
Because
know,
I was
understand.
nasty.
That's fair enough. That's
Because
fair
I
enough.
was
I mean,
nasty.
I won't lie. I played a decent bit of SF5. Sagat was like one of the 3 cool characters in that game.
You know, because you know what it was?
I liked Gil.
SF5 Sagat was like the character unlike any SF5 character.
He
Yeah.
was extremely not
That-
Street Fighter 5.
That was the thing with Street Fighter V is the cool and fun characters were not playing Street Fighter V.
Because you know what Street Fighter 5 is? That's Luke.
But also it like helped, like I inadvertently like changed the timeline because I ended up giving my friend like so much Sagat experience that he would end up smoking fucking Reinhardt Sagat in SF5.
Damn.
So like when I say I was nasty, I wasn't kidding.
It's too bad it was Street Fighter 5.
It's
I don't like
too
that
bad it
game.
was SF5.
I don't like that game. I'm not a Street Fighter 5 fan.
I liked it by the end of it.
Championship Edition had some cool shit.
Yeah, like I liked it.
But Championship Edition
Launch-
also had Luke.
Ooh.
And
Luke. Okay.
Sagat Luke was unwinnable.
That was
Okay.
literally like that was actually like what you were talking about before, where one character just objectively does everything better than the other character.
Oh my God,
Launch.
Sucker Punch, V triggers like
Launch Street Fighter V Chun-Li's son, or Champion Edition Luke daughter. You can't kill yourself.
an abortion.
You can't kill yourself.
Oh god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Launch Chun.
I can't kill myself, but I can kill the child.
Launch Chun-Li's son or Luke daughter.
Just that's the worst 50-50 you've given me so far.
Launch Abigail non-binary kid.
Launch Abigail non-binary.
Oh god.
God, launch Abigail.
I love that character.
I would love to see Hugo get Abigail a 5.
I've been saying this.
Ugh.
I think it'd be awesome.
Also, you know what the worst part is?
Hmm.
I can't believe no one reacted to that post with the Ermac emote.
Oh, which one?
My fighting game character main post.
Oh,
I
'cause
play
Ermac's on there.
UMK3 Ermac. I play UMK3
Well,
Ermac.
The Ermac React has a very specific meaning that is actually completely detached from Ermac, the character.
From Ermac
I'm
himself.
reacting to it anyways.
That's fair.
Ermac is...
No, Ermac React means your post was bad.
Yeah, you generally speaking.
Oh, then spam that shit.
That shit.
It's a special occasion. It's a special occasion thing.
What the?
I do spam. I Ermac React so much stuff in the remix server.
You see someone with like, fucking their list of mains includes UMVC 3-0, Beam the Dynamite from Sonic the Fighters, and Ermac? Nah, you're giving the Ermac react.
You give him the Ermac react
No,
on
I
that
mean,
one.
I'll be real. Ermac might be
Tag
one of the
one?
cooler characters in UMK3.
Oh, absolutely.
He's probably one of the coolest characters in that game.
Tag one Brian though, with the back one spam.
Oh
and the
god,
A-
tag one, brother. Oh, I just noticed that's tag one, Brian.
That's tag one Brian, yeah.
Ugh.
Where you spam back one, you press your 8-frame jab, you're chilling.
I pressed my 8-frame jab on my back one. I'm so nice.
I can't.
I'm
I'm gonna
nine.
make one of these lists, and it's just gonna. There's gonna be like 7 different iterations of Athena.
I think the coolest character on this list, and unfortunately it's the character that's not even in the top tier, is like Psychic Force 2012 Emilio. And it's like if you look at the Japanese wiki of like Psychic Force 2012, Emilio has like setups so complex that the fucking Japanese need diagrams to explain that shit.
What version of Ralph is that?
2000. Sorry, no, that's 11. That's 11.
Okay.
Wait, do
That's
you
a
have a
lot around.
2000 character on here? Or is it Iori?
It's Kyo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 2000
Yeah.
was sick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's Kyo. I have 13 and 2000 Kyo on my list.
Fucking
Those are
hold,
probably 2 of the cooler chaos.
hold on. We've been like rambling on stream for like 25-30 minutes. I can
Awesome.
it is awesome, isn't it? Well, we can keep talking, but I'm just gonna generally log the stream off and
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
yeah.
Goodbye.
Thank you,
Goodbye,
everybody.
chatters.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Thank you, Miriam, for listening to us. I'm gonna play some music for a little bit.
It's the beat. You hear it in his sleep sometimes. Blare it in your Jeep so your peoples can stare at them rhymes. Real rhymes, not your everyday hologram. Even when ribs was touching, never swallowed the ham. He'd rather eat a sandwich salad. It might need salt like your man's bland ballad. A lot of stuff happens that the news won't tell yous. Blues on L juice, snooze all hell loose. Rake it, take it like the good, the bad, the ugly. Break it rolling through your hood in the caddy buggy. Butter softy, leather flossy, fatty juggy. Always threw me off when she told me daddy funk me. I'm like any who's seeds walking all out in the street without any shoes. I guess it's better than some funky socks. You need to get her some skips before she catch the monkeypox. Instead she wanna hit a beatbox, take pills and make fake krills that sheetrock. Sing it, bring it back to your laboratory. While he's in his oratory, glorious like a horror story. The mask is like Jason. They told the place not to let the basket type case in. He could be some kind of wacko, waiting for the chance to heat the pipes like a crack hole. He busted in, blessed be the Lord, who believe any mess they read up on the message board. If so, I got bridges for the Lolo. Same bitch a gold dry snitch it to the popo. Here, orange pill stoves for the whole tier. Feel like I've been gone over a year, came home to old gear. It was the shit when I first scooped it. At least I get to sit out in New York and curse, stupid. Plead the fifth, sip wine stiffly. Patiently come up and be spiffy in a jiffy. Gift for the grind, criminal mind shifty. Swift with the 9 through a 5950. Well educated, he heard it when he meditated in deep data. Let her hate the creep plater. Dedicated cheap skater who keeps data. Say he stays self-medicated to sleep later. Side effects are similar to sugar pill. Whoever go next on the mic, he put a booger ill. And made his exit on some calm shit. Begged him on the regular for kegs of more vomit spit.